before graduation. The softball team's playing at home today at 1. Baseball team's playing at noon. Lacrosse is playing at noon, and the girls' lacrosse team's playing at 1. 4 state tournament games today, not to mention there's also graduation. So we're coming early today.
Yeah,
High School.
I think in total, Tyler, there's actually 7 different events. Track is going on as well. Tennis is going on. Yeah, it's a busy day for Wasatch High School. We're lucky enough to be down here with baseball at Cottonwood today.
And that's why we're on the air early, is in order to get this game done, hopefully with a victory, and then we'll hustle back for graduation. Ty, for the Gordon Law Group stat, I just wanted to go through how the regions ended up in that first round. So we're down to the 16 remaining teams in the 5A state tournament. And as expected, Ty, the southern regions of 5A have put out well. You have Region 8 and Region 9, which are the south end of Salt Lake County and Utah County and Wasatch, and those 2 regions have 9 of the 16 teams that are remaining. You have Region 8 with 4, and then Region 9, Wasatch's region, with 5 of the 6 teams still in the state tournament. Region 5, the northernmost region, has 2 teams. Region 6 has 3 teams, which is Park City, Olympus, and Brighton, and then this region that Cottonwood is a part of has Uinta and Cottonwood that are still a part of it. And so this is the argument for the RPI, right, Ty, is instead of having 4 or 3 or 4 teams across the board, you let this play out. In Region 9, we're maybe biased, but we think that's the best region in the state, and they've shown it. They have 5 teams still in the state tournament.
Top to bottom, easily the best region in the state, and even the last place team, Tyler and Provo, they only went 2-13. Well, one of those wins was over Wasatch. You know, we saw firsthand that was a team that could get the job done as well. And I think you're right, just top to bottom, they're really good. That Region 8 that you bring up is really top heavy. Yeah. You know, you've got your Lehigh in that region, Orem, Timpanogos. You got some good Jordan in that region as well. Those are excellent schools. But then you get to the bottom of those regions, and it's Gibby Wentz, Timpview, and Mountain View, and Alta was not very good this year either. And so I think you're right, Tyler. Wasatch has just been battle tested all year long, including preseason. This team has been facing the best. They've had 2 top 3 teams in 6A, and Lone Peak and Riverton that they went up against. They faced these top guys in 5A by going up against Orem, and they took on Park City, who was number 6. Wasatch is just not going to come out on the field intimidated by anyone at this point because they've seen the best that the state has to offer, and that goes here with this Cottonwood game. How nice it is for this team to come down with a little swagger, knowing that they already put it to Cottonwood on their home field earlier in the year, Ty.
That was stats brought to you by the Gordon Law Group, your full-service local law firm practicing in all areas of the law. They take pride in saying, yeah, we do that. Ty, there's always a worry when you play a team early on and get a victory that you get a little bit of overconfidence coming in. So I'm going to jump over to the Country Gardens and Nursery keys to the game. What does Wasatch need to do to not come in and overlook this Cottonwood?
You already teased it, Tyler, and the key to me is you just cannot come in too overly confident where it turns into casual baseball, and that can happen, you know, when you're dealing with any sport level, whether it's pro, college, or high school, or even Little League. Sometimes you put a little too much stock into previous games, and especially with baseball. Baseball, you see these lopsided scores, and you think that means the team is superior. Take Wasatch and Salem Hills in their first game, and what happens is baseball will kind of go live to play another day strategy, where they'll put different players out and do different things when they know a game has gone out of hand, and then you reset with 21 new outs the next day, 0-0, and it's not the same dynamic. And so my biggest concern with this Wasatch team is not that they're talented enough, because I do think they're the superior team talent-wise against Cottonwood, is that they roll in a little overly confident against this Cottonwood team. They still need to put up good quality at-bats. Last time they played, they were really effective at going the other way. They got a lot of base hits with runners in scoring position with 2 outs, and they were just really good at the little details, played defensively sound, and they kind of took away the soul from Cottonwood. Wasatch jumped up 4-0 in the top of the first, and then Cottonwood came right back at them, got 2 base runners out of their first 3 hitters, but then Wasatch was able to get out of that first inning jam. Casey Anderson pitched excellent, and it felt like after that, then Wasatch came and put, I think, 5 more in the next inning, maybe 6 more in the next inning, and it seemed like Cottonwood rolled over at that point. It's just going to be a different scenario here in this game, and so Wasatch needs to come out and be ready for a dogfight. You're going to see the best that Cottonwood has to offer on the mound, totally fresh, haven't played in 2 weeks, so they've got everyone available, and this team needs to go mentally tough into the box, mentally tough out in the field, and just play quality. Cottonwood is not going to roll over here, and they're looking for revenge after Wasatch put them on earlier in the year. So that's my key to the game. This team has to be mentally tough here. I think talent-wise, they're the superior team, but they've got to win the mental game as well.
Yeah, I think if you're Wasatch, you want to try to jump on them early. Don't want to give them any emotional confidence in this game, jump on them early. We saw that what happened the last time this team was able to jump on Cottonwood early. Cottonwood kind of went away the remaining innings there. It's a good matchup on the mound. I want to jump into this. This is your matchup on the mound brought to you by a good spa day. Jackson Bolender will be on the mound for the Wasps on the year. 44 innings pitched, a 2.07 ERA, but that 2.07 ERA is inflated because in region play alone, he only gave up 2 runs through all of region play and the state tournament. So his ERA over the last 5 or 6 appearances is below 0. And then on the mound
below 1, right? Can't be below 0.
Below 1, sorry. Below 1.
That'd be really good if he was below 0.
On the mound for Cottonwood, Ty, they have their ace that's going to be on the mound. 46 2/3 innings pitched on the year and a 2.7 ERA. So you're going to see ace versus ace in this game today. And this is a pitcher that Wasatch didn't see in their first outing against Cottonwood.
Yeah, sophomore as well, I believe, on the mound for him, if I'm remembering right. But, Ty, you're spot on. And you know, some extra stats to go with what you're talking about. Besides the pitcher duel, both these teams can really swing it, you know, and so this will be interesting to see. There's some firepower offensively to go against some really good pitching. Cottonwood, they struggled to generate runs against Wasatch in the last game where Wasatch put out Anderson, Baxter, and Sheesh, who went out and pitched for the Wasps, and they did a good job shutting them down. But this Cottonwood team can swing it, especially in region play. Over their last 12 games, they've been averaging nearly a 400 batting average as a team. They come in at 388, so I am rounding up a little bit, but their average has jumped nearly 50 points in region play. And so Cottonwood's kind of finding it, and they've got specifically a few younger players. They've got a sophomore here for Cottonwood that leads their team in home runs with 7. That's kind of got his feet wet now in the varsity level, and he's playing very well. So, again, I just want to highlight the point that this is a different team Wasatch is going to be facing in Cottonwood as opposed to when they played them about 20 games ago. There's a little more experience, but the same can be said for Wasatch. They're a different team at this point in the season, too, really playing their best baseball and hitting their best stride. Really excited for this, Tyler. I don't know how you feel, but to me, this is the best time of year. This is like Christmas. For me, as exciting as it is, you wake up with state tournament baseball, and it's just one of the funnest times of year that you can possibly have is going to the state baseball tournament. And you've got a good one here, a very storied tradition in Cottonwood, a couple state titles in the last 5 years down here at Cottonwood.
Well, Tyler, the reason why you like this time of year so much is this day 16 years ago, the Wasatch team traveled to Lindquist Field in Ogden, where the Ogden Raptors played. And for the 2006 5A state tournament, the Wasps were 2-0 in the state tournament, taking on the Delta Rabbits.
Hey,
and
I remember this game.
In the winners bracket. And the Wasps were down 6-5 going in the last inning before Tyler Moss, my co-host here, came away with an RBI single that won the game for the Wasps in the bottom of the 7th and advanced them into that they were the lone winners team. They ended up losing 2 in a row after that. We ended up taking 3rd that year. But one of the funnest games in Wasatch history happened on this day 16 years ago when Tyler Moss had the game-winning hit.
Yeah, those were some fun memories in that game, Tyler. That was a great tournament there for Wasatch in 06, right? That's when we were. You're talking about 06 and those teams. There was some high quality baseball in that tournament. Mentioning the 2 games that Wasatch lost and those next ones. The next kid the next day, if you remember the name Joe Pond, I think was his name. I think he was a draft pick by the Phillies when it was all said and done. Really good pitcher that got Wasatch, and then Dixie had a player as well that got drafted that year that beat Wasatch out in the next one, and I can't pronounce his name. It was Maliana Una or something of that nature. And anyway, those were some fun times, but a pretty wild, turbulent year going into that state tournament as well, where all kinds of drama. If you remember, Coach Scholl, who was the head coach, woke up that morning of that Delta game, Tyler, and he had a heart attack and had to go into the hospital for bypass surgery. So that one came with a lot of background in that day in history. Is after the team got that walk-off win against Delta in the quarterfinals, then they took a bus down to the hospital and went and visited Coach Scholl, who had a heart attack and was in surgery there. So a little added history to that one that you bring up. Hopefully this Wasatch team has a little magic of their own here today and gets a nice historical moment and then could finish it off tomorrow. And you know for sure, Tyler, this team will be playing tomorrow. They're going to have Game 2 for sure, and then, of course, if Game 3 is necessary, that will happen right after Game 1 tomorrow, which is at 1 p.m.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a break. You've been listening to the Dairy King pregame show, winners of Best in State, and proudly serving the Heber Valley since 1946. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Bank of Utah batting lineup, and we'll also run down the rest of the state, who's still in, who's playing, and what 3-game series are happening. You're listening to Wasatch High School Baseball.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
5, 4, 3, 2. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bank of Utah's specialty is relationships. As the nation's top performing banks, we are committed to you and to our community. Visit our friendly Heber branch at 620 West, 100 South, and together we'll build relationships that last. Bank of Utah is an equal housing lender, member FDIC. It's time for our batting lineup today, again brought to you by Bank of Utah. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Ty for the batting lineup for the Wasps.
Yeah, Wasatch is going to be led off by Crew Erickson, so another change there. Erickson will jump up to the leadoff spot after going in the 6-hole and then the 2-hole earlier in the postseason. Now he's going to jump up to the leadoff spot. Hitting in the 2-hole is Alex Gutierrez at the DH position. Bolender will continue in that 3 spot as the starting pitcher as well. Peyton Swap hitting 4 in center field. Cole Zimmerman in the 5 spot at first base today. Jack Bluth in the 6 spot, second base. And he had a great game against Cottonwood earlier when they came down here, Tyler. That was the most locked in we'd seen Jack Bluth all year. In the 7-hole, you have Chet Wilson at third base, the 8-hole, Carter Bucad, who's playing shortstop, and then your last hitter in the lineup today is Tragun Shaw, playing right field, hitting in the 9-hole for the Wasps here. And that lineup's, some changes. Seeing Chet Wilson go down to the 7-hole, and that's a good spot to get him some RBI chances, as well as maybe a few more fastballs to be able to hit Ty. And again, 1 through 9 looks like a pretty solid lineup all the way throughout.
Well, you look at 7 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 390, 325, 292, 388 is what you're going to close out. And one of the clinics we went to was when this Cottonwood program talked about their state championship, and their last state championship, we saw the number 9 guy hit a home run in the state championship. And
they were bunting with 3 and 4 and driving them in with 7, 8, 9.
So this is a team that right now, this lineup we were looking up and down at, you've got some good power at the bottom of the lineup and some good bats, and Wasatch is going to be tough 1 through 9. Another note, Ty, 5 out of the 4 hitters today for the Wasps are lefties, so more lefties in the lineup instead of righties. As a pitching coach, does that adjust anything for you as you're preparing for a team to see that many lefties in the lineup?
Well, what it does is it puts more pressure on your defense. You got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker on ground balls in the infield. You've got to, bunt's always a question there when you got a lefty coming up, and this Wasatch team has a tendency to bunt too. So what it does is it applies just a little bit more pressure on the defense than it would if you just had a lineup full of righties in there, Tyler. But at this point, I think both coaches just like the guys that they're putting out there. So I'm not sure they're going to make too big of a deal over it, and they're just going to come at it with the best you've got against the best that the other team has got. But yeah, this lineup for Wasatch is going to be potent all the way through.
It's time for the national anthem. We'll go ahead and take one more break. When we come back, we'll have your Mountain Refined opening pitch. Wasatch will be the visitors. They'll be up first. Super regional action here at Cottonwood High School on 94.5 The Peak.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to... You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the first action brought to you by Mountain Refined. From design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences into your interior design. Come into our showroom in order to find beautiful furniture, bedding, mattresses, decor, and so much more. Leading out for the Wasps here in the top of the first, Crew Erickson, Alex Gutierrez, and Jackson Bolender on the mound for Cottonwood. Throwing from the left-hand side will be Hudman, a sophomore. 2.70 ERA in 46 2/3 innings pitched on the year. Only 35 hits in 46 2/3 innings pitched.
But Tyler, nothing overpowering. He's only in the high 70s here, is where he throws from the left side. He's got a lot of action on those pitches, and so you're going to have to be disciplined as a team and think up the middle the other way, really be disciplined with your eyes and seeing that pitch all the way in. But Wasatch has had success against lefties of this caliber over the course of the season, but this is a team that needs to come into the box disciplined. Interestingly enough, when you look at Hudman's statistics, Tyler, not very good as far as strikeouts, and you can see why, where he's not overpowering on the mound, but what he does is he gets outs. Opponent's batting average below 200 on him at 199 this year, and so teams are in play. Cottonwood knows they've got to play defense behind him. Wasatch just needs to hit the ball competitively in play, run fast, and see what happens against this kid.
It's about 65 degrees down here at Cottonwood High School. A little bit of cloud cover. We'll see if the wind picks up a little bit later on. But a nice day overall. Wasatch again playing at Cottonwood High School in the Super Regional of the state baseball tournament. As we take a look around the state, number 1 Spanish Fork will be taking on Maple Mountain, a Region 9 matchup there. Number 2 Lehigh will be taking on another Region 9 opponent in the Springville Red Devils, who got the upset victory over Viewmont. Number 3 Jordan will be taking on Uinta. Number 4 Olympus will be taking on the Brighton Bengals.
That one's intriguing, too.
Yeah, Brighton actually won that series during the regular season. Number 6 Park City takes on Region 9 opponent Salem Hills. Number 7 Woods Cross will play region foe Bountiful, and Bountiful actually won that series as well. And then lastly, you have another region matchup between Orem and Timpanogos.
So how about that with this series, including Wasatch, when they faced off, Wasatch beat Cottonwood. Brighton, who's the underdog, 15-4, beat their opponent in the 4 and 2 out of 3. And so you've got and then Bountiful, and then would anyone be surprised if Salem beat Park City? No. You could potentially have 4 teams that are technically underdogs according to the RPI advance, where it wouldn't be a surprise.
First pitch of the Super Regional is in there, up high for ball 1 to Crew Erickson. Crew Erickson 384 on the year, 7 extra base hits and 25 runs. 2 for 6 so far in this postseason with an RBI. That RBI coming in Game 1 against Tooele in that 10-0 victory. That ball's in there, and it's going to be a base knock down the right field line, and this is going to be extra bases right off the bat for the Wasp. Crew trying to leg it out a double. He'll be in there in time. A leadoff double brought to you by Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more. Double for Crew Erickson to lead off the game.
Well, now you know what's coming traditionally for Wasatch is you can anticipate a bunt here. That's been kind of their style this year. Get a leadoff double, try to bunt him over. Gutierrez handles the bat really well in the 2 spot. See if he can execute.
Alex Gutierrez, 361 on the year, 2 extra base hits, 10 runs scored, 2 for 6 in the first round. Also had an RBI in that series against Tooele. Hudman comes set out of the stretch, takes a look at Crew. Crew, not a great lead. Now gets the secondary. They're going to go ahead and let Alex Gutierrez swing it. He's going to lift this one into left field, and that'll be a pop-up. Rare swing there.
Yeah, a little surprised that that's the route they went. Alex has been swinging it well as of late, and maybe the strategy is he's on the left side. You've got a lot of chance to maybe ground out as well, base hit or ground out to the right side. Unfortunately, he drove that one to left field, and so a non-productive out there for Wasatch.
Jackson Bolender will come up to the plate. 471, leads the team in batting average. Also has 6 extra base hits, including a 3 RBI double that won the game against Tooele in Game 1 of the postseason. 2 looks, and the pitch is a curveball. And again, it's swung on, and that one's down. That's going to score. Crew had to hold up to see if the right fielder was going to catch it, so he will not score on the base knock. But back-to-back base knock, or excuse me, 2 base knocks here in the first inning for the Wasps.
Yeah, that was a strange hit and a strange swing there from Jackson. That curveball, he saw it so well that it looked like he decided late that he wanted it, and as the ball was nearly the home plate, he just kind of golfed it out there to right field. It was a good line drive, but didn't really have all of his momentum back into it. But just like that, Wasatch is in business now. First and third, Peyton Swap coming up. He's been your best RBI guy on the year.
Yeah, 23 RBIs on the year. 361 batting average, was 500 in the first series against Tooele with a couple doubles. Craig McPhee will come in and speed up for Jackson Bolender at first base. Cole Zimmerman on deck for the Wasps. Well, they started just like they left off the last time they were here, with base knocks the opposite way. Peyton Swap gets in the box. Wasatch wearing their all-gray uniforms with the black pinstripe. Cottonwood and their all-whites. High leg kick delivery, fastball too far outside, ball 1.
A little extra heat on that fastball there too. Hudman trying to get that one by Pate.
That's a good take.
1-0 count with 1 out with runners on the corners for the Wasps here in the top of the first. 1 look, they'll go ahead and throw over to first base. Not in time as Craig McPhee, gets back to first base.
Really good read there from Cray, Tyler. That one, Hudman went quick motion and kind of jerked up, seeing if he could get Cray off balance. See if that's a consistent thing with his pickoff move. Wasn't the same flow as he has when he goes home.
Another same pickoff move over. Cray gets back easily once again.
So what he's doing, his leg, when he's going to pick off, he launches the knee up towards his chest really quickly. And that just hasn't been the case when he's pitching home. It's a little bit more gradual, and that's an easy read for a base runner if that's what he consistently keeps doing.
The 1-0 is delivered. It's a curveball. That's low for ball 2. 2-0 count.
And again, if you're watching at home, just kind of take a look for that. You saw that there was a much more slow, gradual leg kick when he was going to deliver home as opposed to when he's picking off. So, again, this could be a first move kind of kid if you're Wasatch and potentially steal some bags.
2-0 hitters count here for Swap in the 4 spot. Another pickoff move. Craig gets back easily once again. Third pickoff move of the at-bat.
You can get a little extra flavor from the dugout here today, Tyler.
Especially with KCA right there.
Casey and Jack, Bluth here, giving a little extra energy here.
The 2-0 pitch. Too high, 3-0 now the count.
Well, and you're starting to see here the results of base runners already, Tyler. You got a base runner on first, right in the side of the pitcher, and he's not able to focus as much on throwing strikes here at the plate with Peyton Swap, and that's a dangerous spot for a pitcher now. You got a lot of power in Swap, 3-0, looking fastball.
3-0 pitch, and that is in there for strike 1. Moves count to 3-1 with 1 out. Coach Scholl talked about how you put your best 9 on, but in the state tournament you have to have your seniors come through. And this Cottonwood team's young, Ty, only 4 seniors in the lineup, and they're starting 4 sophomores. Big swing and a miss on the 3-1, moves the count to full.
Yeah, really late on that too. I don't know if Pate was looking for a breaking pitch, but that ball was basically in the catcher's glove by the time he got the bat going.
So full count, runners on the corners, and the corner defenders as well playing in on the grass. First baseman holding on Craig McPhee at first base. Hudman takes a peek, delivers the payoff pitch. That's too high, and it's ball 4. Bases juice now for Cole Zimmerman. Had himself a nice, Cole Zimmerman, he had himself a nice series, hitting above 300, was 3 for 4 in the Tooele series with a double and 2 RBIs.
It's not the end of the world if you're Cottonwood, though. Load them up, keep a double play in order at each base.
3 lefties coming up as well. Be interested to see how the lefty-lefty matchup works out today for the Wasps.
And I'm watching Cottonwood. They're telling their defense to shift over, and again, that plays right in the hands of what Cole Zimmerman would like. He's kind of an opposite field swing, drives the ball the other way.
First pitch of the at-bat to Cole is a curve ball that comes down for strike one, a little bit up, and it gets the belt, and that's strike one. Jack Bluth on deck, 390 on the year for Jack. Zimmerman's come on hot, had a good series against Spanish Fork, and then again 2 RBIs in the last game against Tooele. Another curveball. Cole's going to elevate this one. It's shallow left or shallow right field. Right fielder gets it. Crew's going to try to score. It's going to be a bang, bang, bang at the plate. And not in time. Runner will advance to third base on the throw. And Cole Zimmerman's fly ball to right field is enough to get 1 run in for the Wasps.
That's a bold call to go on that one, Tyler. The fielder's got that about 200 feet out is all, and he's coming in with momentum. But Coach Erickson, he's been a riverboat gambler all year, decides to take another chance there and send his fastest guy on the bases and Crew, and it pays off as the throw is not on line.
He's going to bring up Jack Bluth with runners on the corners as Craig McPhee advanced to third on the throw. Payne Swap stayed at first.
Busy day over there in right field, Tyler, for Cottonwood already. 2 base hits in that direction and then the sac fly.
See if Coach Jacobson wants to do something with Peyton at first base. Great speed there. The delivery, it's a fastball. Jack swings and fouls that one off behind to the backstop. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, and I think, Ty, I'm watching Coach Sweat right now, right in front of us, and I think he's talking about the pickoff move right now, trying to inform Chet Wilson of what you're talking about and what he's seeing here for the base runners to make these reads.
Jack had himself his best day at the plate against Cottonwood in his last game here. And he's going to take one off the elbow, so a hit by pitch, and Wasatch once again has the bases loaded. This time for Chet Wilson, hitting in the 7th spot today, 325 batting average, 10 extra base hits, and 18 RBIs.
Well, this is a great spot for Chet. Great spot here, already kind of constructing this lineup for Coach Jacobson. Chet's been one of your better hitters through the last couple years. You wanted to get a spot where he can drive in runs, but also get fastballs. Couldn't draw it up any better. Bases loaded, 7-hole, there's nowhere to put him. He should get a pitch to hit here.
Bases loaded and good speed all around the base pass for the Wasps. First pitch is going to be a curveball. It's in there for strike one.
Yeah, that's a good job from the pitcher. If you're going to throw a curveball, that's the spot you need to do it. Try to lead him off there with that. And if you land it, now there's some options available to you.
Chet still looking for his first base hit of the postseason. Did score twice, reached on an error and on a walk and scored both times. The 0-1 pitch, fastball fouled off behind us down the third base side. 0-2 now the count with 2 outs.
Well, if you're the pitcher on the mound for Hudman here in Cottonwood, Tyler, this is where you want your best pitch. You don't want to waste any time here on this. And so what is his best pitch? We'll see what he's most confident in here at 0-2.
Sophomore sets, delivers. 0-2 curveball. It's going to be a base knock to center field. That's going to bring in 2. Chet Wilson with his first base knock of the postseason is going to score 2 runs, and he'll advance to second base because nobody's covering. And 2 RBI single for Chet Wilson here in the top of the first, and Wasatch takes the 3-0 lead.
Well, it just feels like the last time they played Cottonwood, doesn't it? Wasatch blitzing them early, 2-out knocks. They're just coming through. This is a team that is locked in right now in Wasatch. Good to see Chet come through there. See if that can get the monkey off his back a little bit.
Second and third, 2 outs now for Carter Bucad. 3 for 5 in the last series against Tooele. Scored 2 runs. He's up to 292 on the season with 11 RBIs. He'll hit from the right-hand side now with 1 base open. Wasatch with a 3-0 lead on 3 hits. Hudman sets, deep breath, takes a peek at Chet. High leg kick, delivers. Fastball, too high for ball 1. On deck will be Tragun Shaw. Didn't hit in the Tooele series, back in the lineup today. Adding some more speed to this lineup from the left-hand side. Carter Bucad sets up on the plate. 1-0 count. A no-look delivery this time. That's a fastball in there on the inside corner for strike 1. 1-1 the count. These runs today brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Your rehabilitation specialist, let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. 1-1 count. 2 ducks on the pond. The delivery swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the right side. The first baseman bobbles. Throw.
Oh, good.
Not in time. First pitcher does not get to first base. And Carter Bucad will score another run on a, what are we going to rule that? An error by the first baseman. Bobbled that one.
Yeah, and that's surprising. I thought a lot of dirt kicked up there, Tyler. The pitcher's not arguing at all, but I really thought he got his foot on the bag. And I was about to say good play as the pitcher was reaching back there on that one, but no contest from the pitcher. And so it looks like the umpire maybe got that one right.
Well, the Cottonwood coach wants to come out and get an explanation on it. If it stands, Wasatch will have a 4-0 lead with runners on the corners and the number 9 hitter up for the Wasps.
Yeah, we'll see 3 umpires again in the state tournament, so they can appeal, get a little bit different look, but no one else would be looking in that direction as the home plate umpire was looking at home with the base runner coming from third to home, and then the other umpire out there would be looking at the runner advancing from second to first, or second to third, excuse me. Second to first would be impressive if he was going there. But this has been a great start for Wasatch. They are going to try to appeal here.
They are going to discuss it, so all 3 umpires will come together. Let's pause in the action, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station.
Ty, if you haven't followed this Wasatch team too closely over the year, their offense has just been good all throughout the season. But this pitcher particularly plays to the advantage of the Wasatch team because these lefties that you've got in the lineup that we've talked about with Bluth or Zimmerman and just the lefties that we've got throughout Wilson who just got a hit, they're good at just seeing curveballs and driving pitches up the middle. And then some of your right-handed hitters like Crew Erickson, Jackson Bolender, and Carter Bucad, they actually excel when they're driving the ball the other way. And so with a left-handed pitcher up like this that's a little more soft throwing, it's to the advantage of Wasatch, where you've probably got 7 or 8 hitters in the lineup that are totally comfortable swinging against this type of pitcher. The one that maybe it will give a harder time to is a guy like a Peyton Swap, where Peyton's a little bit more of a pull-the-ball hitter. He's up the middle, drive the ball the other way, and it can be hard for him to be a little bit more patient with that ball to get in there. But at the same time, I mean, wouldn't you give Peyton every opportunity against a guy with this type of velocity where he could easily knock a ball out of the park? So I guess all in all, what I'm saying is this is a great matchup for Wasatch so far today.
Tragun Shaw will come up to the plate. 388 batting average on the year, 7 extra base hits. He comes up with runners on the corners and 2 outs. First pitch of the at-bat is a strike on the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Wasatch leads 4-0. 4 Wasatch physical therapy runs scored here in the top of the first inning. Crew Erickson on deck already has a double in the ball game. The 0-1 count. The pitch. And that high fastball, and Tragun just does his face. Does he know? I mean, he just has a hard time laying that one off.
So tempting to him. Yeah, so tempting.
0-2 now the count with 2 outs.
Well, Wasatch has been good with 2 outs and with 2 strikes. See if they can get it done one more time.
0-2 the count. Hudman, a couple of looks. High leg kick, delivers the 0-2. That one's too far outside. Bucad's going to go. He's safe as second. Wilson breaks for home, but can't get there in time.
Got it.
Didn't have it. A good play there from Cottonwood. They execute the first and third play perfectly and get out of the inning. But Wasatch is able to score 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error by Cottonwood in the inning, and Wasatch leaves 1 on base. It's 4-0 as we go into the bottom of the first.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Bag Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Bag Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the first inning, you couldn't have scripted a better start for Wasatch Baseball, who leads 4-0 over Cottonwood, heading to the bottom of the first inning. This action brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports, auto, industrial, and commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%.
Yeah, Tyler, let's go ahead and take a look around the diamond for your Point S Tires defensive lineup today. Who's playing at the positions today for the Wasps?
Well, catching for the Wasps here behind the dish is Kelson Stocking, the pitcher. Jackson Bolender, the ace for the Wasps, third base. Chet Wilson at shortstop. Carter Bucad, second base. Jack Bluth, first base is Cole Zimmerman. In right field is Tragun Shaw, center field Peyton Swap, and in left field today is Crew Erickson.
Well, the 4 runs, Ty, is what Jackson Bolender has given up in his last 34 1/3 innings that he's thrown this year combined. But by batting average and team batting average, this is the best team he's faced this year. And leading off for the Cottonwood Colts will be the senior Burke, playing third base today. .298 batting average, 10 extra base hits. He was 2 for 3 against the Wasps in their outing earlier this year. Strike one is in there on the fastball from Jackson Bolender. Bubbles out of the windup. Delivers the 0-1. That one a little bit low. 1-1 now the count. Last year, Jackson Bolender threw game 2 against Olympus, coming off of an outing against Lehigh where he threw 110 pitches. This year, coming off an outing of only 51 against Tooele. Fastball fouled off, moves count to 1-2.
Well, the difference in this game on paper, Tyler, is going to be the senior leadership. You know, you've got a sophomore going for Cottonwood who's very talented, but you've got Jackson Bolender who's now a 4-year starter for Wasatch, and this is a kid who means business on the mound for the Wasps. You made a comment the other day, Tyler, to me that you said you would put Jackson Bolender up against anyone in the state, where if you had one game to go win, that this might be the guy out of all the teams in Utah, this is probably the one you want to pick.
Have you seen somebody?
I haven't,
different?
no. I've seen guys with maybe more talented arms, but not with the mental makeup that Jackson Bolender has.
Ground ball to Chet Wilson. Wilson's going to come across, takes his time, and the throw is going to pull Cole Zimmerman off the bag. And so an error to start off the ball game for the Wasps. That's the first error by the left side of the infield in the last 7 games. It's been a really solid left side, and that one it looked like he just took a little too long almost.
Well,
and just tried to zip it over there.
Something to watch. When Chet came in at the end of the top of the first, he slid into the catcher pretty hard, and he came up limping, Tyler. And so he's still probably trying to get right over there with his legs at third base after that bang-bang play.
It's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, which is Nielsen, a junior. .476 batting average on the year. 13 extra base hits, 32 RBIs. He was 1 for 4 with the K against the Wasps the last time these two teams played. Going to the University of Utah, right? University of Utah commit.
Yep.
Shortstop today. Runner on first. Nobody out after the error by the Wasps. Fastball in there for strike one. 1-1 the count. Bubbles missed on a curveball to start off the at-bat, so we got a 1-1 count.
And that's a good pitch for this kid. In his first 3 at-bats, the first time these guys played, he swung at the first pitch each time. So Wasatch kind of scouting him, looking at his aggressive nature.
Another fastball low, bounces off the dirt. Kelson Stocking does a good job of smothering it. Moves the count to 2-1. The count with the runner on first, nobody out. Jackson Bolender sets, delivers. Another one too low and outside, moves the count to 3-1. Ty, if I were to give you 5 arms to make up an all-time Wasatch staff, so going kind of history here, who would you put as the 5 arms? That
I might need a few innings to think about this, Ty, but I think you've got some clear ones like Clint Kelson, who was outstanding for Wasatch back in the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember the exact year, but in that range. I think you've got to have a Ryan Chadwick up there who had a great career at Wasatch, but also at the next level at UVU. Left as their all-time win leader. Jackson Bolender's got to be in the mix. I really think McCord Larson is another name that people need to recognize. Brennan Hallows in the late 2000s was really good for the Wasps as well. So those are a few that come to my mind just initially off the top of my head. Anyone I'm omitting there that you can think of?
You know, Jesse Bristow had a good career and ended up pitching at the next level as well for the Wasps. Ball 4 does put Nielsen on first. So the first 2 batters for Cottonwood are on, first and second. Pickoff move, not in time, and it's going to go away from Jack. Jack scrambles and will be able to get the ball before Burke's able to advance to third base. Wasatch tried a little pickoff move at second, not in time.
Well, this is an interesting deja vu we're having here, Tyler. Wasatch, the first time they faced Cottonwood, scored 4 runs in the top of the first. And then the first 2 guys got on for Cottonwood, and Wasatch was able to work out a jam. See if they can do it again here.
So the Wasatch pulling the bunt coverage move again where they're coming without the player in the box squaring, and that's crazy. Number 3 hitter up. Both Cole and Chet were about 10, 15 yards away from the hitter. It is in there for strike one. So we got no one count to Dozy, playing first base today for the Colts. 1 for 2 in his last outing against the Wasps. 0-1, 2 looks, delivery, and that one's going to be elevated to left center field. Payne Swab going back, makes the grab, has to plant. They're going to try to tag from second. Throw is not going to be in time. Good play there from the guy on second base, Burke. He retreated back to second, noticed that Payne Swab was still running backwards, and put his foot in the ground and got to third base. So it's a sacrifice fly that moves the runner from second to third, but it is 1 out. Nice play from Payne Swab there in left center field.
Yeah, and if you're a coach, that ball is probably driving you crazy that he wasn't tagging originally anyway, because if that ball gets over Swap's head, that's going to be to the fence and you're scoring either way. And so the fact that that play was even close at third is probably going to drive the coach at Cottonwood a little bit crazy.
He's going to bring up a sophomore, but he's a good sophomore. Stinson, right fielder, .435 batting average, 30 RBIs on the year.
7 bombs, too, I think, to go with it, Ty, if I'm remembering right.
Nice fastball on the outside corner for strike one. He was 0 for 3 with the run scored in the first game against Wasatch earlier in the year. If you're just joining us, Wasatch jumped on Cottonwood 4 runs in the top of the first, and that's currently the score 4-0, but Cottonwood's threatening with runners on the corners and 1 out. Pickoff move, not in time. We'll reset with runners on first and third. Outfield once again today, Crew Erickson in left, Peyton Swap in center, and Tragun Shaw playing right field today. Bubbles comes set. Delivers the 0-1 to Stinson. Another fastball, and that's a good pitch right on the low part of the zone. Stinson doesn't agree, but if he gets that spot,
well,
that's a good spot
and that's what you.
Bolender.
I'm glad to see the umpire do that. That's what you want to reward in the state tournament. If you got a pitcher hitting that low spot in the zone and can do that consistently, that's good baseball there. Glad to see that they're going to let him call that one a strike.
0-2. Low and outside, runner's going to go. Kelton picks it up, throws it, and it's going to get away from Jack Bluth. Run's going to come in, and the runner at first will advance to third base. So a little bit of sloppy baseball early on in this first inning for the Wasps. An error put the first guy on, and now another error on the throw down to second base. And Cottonwood gets a run on the board, 4-1, and a runner on third base.
Yeah, that error probably to Bluth. Right, it's a tough one because it's pulling him off the bag, but he did get his glove on it, and then it bounced away. Now Cottonwood's got a chance to maybe steal a couple cheap ones here.
1-2 pitch is fouled off, and we'll reset at 1-2. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Wasatch scored 4. Cottonwood with 1 on the board now after a couple of throwing errors from Wasatch in the ballgame. 1-2, high fastball. Stinson thinks about it, but holds back, and we'll reset at 2-2. The 2-2. Curveball this time. Gets him swinging on the off-speed pitch. From this angle, couldn't tell if that was a curveball or the changeup, but it was off-speed, and he got Stinson chasing. First physical at the Fit Stop strikeout of the day for Jackson Bolender. Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe for the last 40 years. It's going to bring up lefty Saran, one of the seniors, 302 batting average on the year. He's going to swing. Ground ball down the first base side, stays fair. Cole Zimmerman will field it, and Wasatch gets out of the inning.
That's a good play from Cole, Tyler, because that was one of those awkward balls going down the first baseline, hopping slowly. They can go all kinds of different directions. Cole did a good job to square that up and crash on that to get the out.
One run on no hits. Couple of errors by Wasatch in the inning, and 1 runner is left on base. It's 4-1. As we go into the top of the second here on 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strongest approval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Second inning action brought to you by Wasatch Bag Flooring. From the words of the Wasatch Bag customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Bag Flooring and Paint. Thanks, Dan, and your team. Wasatch leads 4-1 after scoring 4 runs in the top of the first. Give up 1 run in the bottom of the first, unearned. And that's where we sit as we go into the top of the second. Super regional action. 3-game series. This is game 1 of a 3-game series. Games 2 and, if necessary, game 3s will be played tomorrow. This one's going to be swung on by Tragun Shaw, and a nice little single to start off the inning for Tragun. He goes up the middle on a fastball up in the zone, and Wasatch, back-to-back innings, has the first guy on.
Always ready. Tragun Shaw, always ready to go. The last week he's been out of the lineup. Doesn't matter. First chance he gets here, he gets locked in, gets a base knock. He's a coach's dream player, Tyler, and Tragun Shaw. He always has the right energy. He's a total team guy, and he's always ready to go. Not to mention he plays a great outfield defensively.
4 hits now for Wasatch. It's going to bring up the top of the order Crew Erickson with Tragun Shaw at first base. Crew's going to try to lay down a drag bunt on a curveball. Fouls it off. 1 strike. Wasatch reached this round last year before losing to Olympus 2-0. Same situation. It was on graduation day that they started the 3-game series. Cottonwood a little bit nicer this year on planning this one and allowing us to come down a little bit early. Pickoff move not in time.
Yeah, I think the admin for Wasatch also tried to get ahead of the game when the RBIs came out, started contacting the schools that they potentially could be playing, and said, hey, just so you know, this is the scenario we're looking at, and Cottonwood worked with them pretty well, it looked like.
0-1, it's going to be a bunt. That's a pretty good bunt by Crew. Is it in time? It is in time, but that's a pretty good bunt that almost got him safe. But it does move the runner over to second. Tragun thinks about advancing to third. Cottonwood does a good job of retreating, and now Wasatch has a duck on the pond with a runner on second base for Alex Gutierrez. Tried to go push bunt and just had, if he had had a little bit more on it, I think that gets by the pitcher, and he's in there safe. Yeah, probably if he's on turf, that gets by the pitcher.
It's the right move there to try to push with the defense that Cottonwood was bringing at him. But again, if you can get that bunt on a left-handed pitcher down third baseline, it does make it pretty challenging for them to get the out. But Wasatch playing the smart play there, trying to go with what the stats say to do.
Alex Gutierrez is going to roll over and ground out to the first baseman. It will advance Tragun Shaw to third. So a fly out and a ground out for Alex Gutierrez in the ballgame today. And that's going to bring up Jackson Bolender, who had an RBI single to right field in his first at bat. He's got another RBI opportunity here with Tragun Shaw at first base.
Yeah, I'd love to see Wasatch extend this here with 2 outs. Scoreboard here only has the Wasps down for 3 hits, Tyler, but got him down for 4.
Fastball too far outside for ball 1. Jackson Bolender swung at the first pitch. It was a curveball, and he laced it to right field for a single in his first at bat. Again, hitting over 470 on the year, and also has been stellar on the mound. A first-team All-Stater last year, looking to get those same honors this year. Tragun Shaw bounces a little bit and causes Hudman to step off the mound.
Yeah, I don't see that very often.
Nope.
Little look and pick-off move over at third base. Third baseman wasn't ready for it either, though. So Hudman wisely did not throw the ball over in that direction.
The 1-0. High fastball that's going to be fouled off down the first base side. 1-1 now the count.
Well, Jackson got the curveball last time that he lofted over there into right field. See if Hudman wants to try to come back with that here. 2 bases open with 3 and 4 coming up and a runner on third. Kind of teach your pitchers to be careful on what you do. They are going to pick to third, Ty. Wow.
And almost threw that ball away. Tragun does a good job of diving back and is safe. And that ball nearly got by the third baseman, which would have resulted in a run for the Wasps. 1-1 now the count. Wind starting to pick up a little bit.
One of those risk-reward situations with baseball, like the risk of picking over at third base with 2 outs just is not worth it most of the time for that scenario, Ty. Same kind of idea that in football, you talk about you don't want to go hard count when you're near the goal line, because you're only going to get, a half a yard if you get that, but you could lose 5 yards. And same type of idea there. It's unusual to see a pickoff move over their third base like that.
1-2 the count after a foul ball on the off-speed pitch. 1-2, Wasatch generated 2 runs with 2 outs in the last inning. We'll see if they can do it again. The 1-2, another off-speed that's fouled off, and we'll reset at 1-2.
Well, it's hard to want to come back with a fastball against Jackson Bolender in the 3-hole, because traditionally you're thinking, don't throw the 3-hole of fastball here when 1-2. But Jackson seems to be a little bit more locked in on the curveball than the fastball. Where will Hudman go?
1-2, tries to go upstairs, way too far upstairs, moves the count to 2-2. Deuces with 2 outs and a runner on third. Wasatch with the 4-1 lead.
That's a good idea to go with the high fastball there, see if you can get him to chase. But that one was never tempting, way too high out of the hand.
2-2 the count. The pitch. Too far up again, moves the count to full.
See, that one was closer though. Kind of got Jackson a little bit twitchy over there. He was tempted. Those high fastballs kind of get the hitters to lick their chops a little bit.
Count is full with 2 outs, and again, a runner on third base is Tragun Shaw. Jackson Bolender's going to step off, Hudman will step off the back of the mound and reset. A lot on the sophomore's shoulders starting game 1 of the state tournament for this Cottonwood team. They did not have to play in the regional round. The full count payoff pitch. It's in there. Jackson Bolender's going to elevate it to center field. It was a good barrel, but right at the center fielder. So Cottonwood gets out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. It's 4-1 as we go into the bottom of the second.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Wasatch State Baseball, bottom of the second inning, brought to you by Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. Wasatch leading 4-1 over Cottonwood High School, entering the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, if you're listening on the radio, put some earbuds in and go over to the softball field. The number 5 ranked Wasps are set to take on Cedar Valley High School in their super regional matchup. They'll be playing at home today and tomorrow in a 3-game series for a chance to advance to the quarterfinals. That game will begin at 1 o'clock. So we get started here in the bottom of the second. The Wasps lead 4-1 over the Colts of Cottonwood after a 4-run first inning. This will be strike 1 to Fox, the catcher, only a sophomore, but again hitting .424, was 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs in the game against Wasatch. He takes a hack and fouls out one off, moves the count to 0-2.
Yeah, don't you feel like looking at this Cottonwood team, you can see a lot of talent in the other underclassmen ranks here, but not quite there yet. You know, they're overmatched by these Wasatch pitchers. Jackson Bolender, I don't think they've seen a lot of pitchers like him in their region over the course of the year.
The 0-2. Hits the spot, backward K there for Jackson Bolender, his second strikeout of the game, again by Physical at the Fit Stop, and there's one away here in the bottom of the second.
And help me out with the teams that I missed, Tyler. This Cottonwood team in the new regions this year, they've got Uinta, Tooele, Stansbury,
Cedar
Valley in that region.
And there's one more.
Yeah, I can't recall. Is it Olympus? Are they the other one?
Olympus is in Park City and in that region. This pitch is going to be swung on in the number 9 spot. It's going to push Peyton Swap back, and he'll make the grab over his Right hand again. That was Green, this designated hitter. He swung at the first pitch, elevated that to the outfield, but it's another out, and there's two away here in the bottom of the second.
That was a pretty good swing, Tyler. That ball carried a little farther than I thought it would, pushing Peyton all the way back to the fence where it's 380 there in the corner.
Yeah, well, breeze. I mean, it's not a hard breeze, but it is blowing out. Straight out to center field is what the flag shows us. He's going to bring up the number 8 hitter, the center fielder, Piel. P-F-I-E-I-L, also a sophomore, 296 on the year, 1 for 3 in their first game against Wasatch. Strike one, 0-1 pitch is going to be elevated to about the same, not as deep. Peyton Swap's going to go into left center field and make the grab. Wasatch physical therapy, 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and it's 4-1 Wasatch as we go into the top of the third here on 94.5 The Peak.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Your Wasatch Napa Auto Parts stocks auto parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today.
Little Boston over there, auto pots. Auto pots. I got a little Boston accent.
I started to smirk as I said that. Like, did I just do what I just did there?
You didn't think I was going to let that go, did you? Auto pots.
Well, it's a little bit of an elevated fence. They kind of have this mini green monster all the way across the field here.
Oh, all right. So you got a little Boston. Yeah, a little Boston going on there. I see.
Did you hear the sound bit of when Shohei Ohtani hit the green monster this year? You got to look it up. Because you hear the crack of the bat, and you're like, holy smokes, like that ball is smoked. And then it goes off of the green monster, and it's like he shatters the green monster. Like it was one of those, like 110 off the bat, and he just shatters it. And
he's had some missiles. I can't. His top one this year, I thought was over 120, wasn't it? Off the bat?
He had one 117 this week. It was a line drive off the center field wall. Is what that was. But they've actually been good. The Angels have been good.
That's pretty telling, Tyler. We measured Wasatch High School batters' exit velocity. That's one of the tools that we use at Wasatch. And this guy coming up to the plate, Peyton Swap, is sitting high 90s, around 100, and he's a beast in the box. And you're putting another 15 to 20 miles per hour off the bat with Ohtani. It's incredible.
Leading off the top of the third will be Peyton Swap. He'll take a curveball. He walked his first at bat.
He wanted that one too, Tyler. Down a little low on that curveball.
Yeah, curveball that ends up down and in for ball one. Walked in his first at bat. The 1-0 pitch, fastball, and it's going to be elevated into foul territory down the first base side, and a good play there from the first baseman, Dozy, and there's one away here in the top of the third.
Peyton, end of the season, Tyler, had an injury where he was out the last couple weeks, in and out of the lineup, I guess you could say. But that takes a little bit to get your swing back to where it was. He's got to kind of work off the rust and get himself right.
Still looks a little stiff to me, too, with the lower half. He's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman, who had a sacrifice fly RBI in his first at-bat to get Wasatch going on the scoring. He'll take a curveball in there for strike one. Hudman looking a little bit more confident on the mound to start off this inning. He's been able to land that curveball, but Wasatch has done a good job of getting good barrels on the curveball. The 0-1. Comes back with the curveball, and there's one of those barrels. That's a hammer through the 3-4 hole. Single there for Cole Zimmerman. And Wasatch has, for the third straight inning, a runner on base.
Don't give him the same pitch 2 times in a row. He will smoke that thing. That's just what Cole does there. He's 2 curveballs back-to-back. And that's a good one, exit velocity off the bat there, Ty. Wish we had that measured.
It's going to bring Jack Bluth up. He was hit by pitch and ended up scoring after getting hit by pitch in the first inning. 390 batting average, and he's hitting 500 in the postseason. Had a double in game 1 of that series against Tooele. Chet Wilson on deck, had an 2 RBI single in his first at bat up the middle with 2 outs. First pitch of the at bat, fastball in there for strike one.
Yeah, if you're just joining us here into the top of the third, really Chet Wilson has the moment of the game so far. Wasatch was up 1-0, bases loaded, 2 outs, and he got a 2-out RBI. That actually led to the next batter, Carter Bucad, getting on by way of error that got another run. But without Chet's base hit, this is a pretty tight game, 1-0 right now.
Pickoff move over to Cole, not in time. 0-1 the count here to Jack. Jack had his best hitting day of the season against this Cottonwood team. I believe was either 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 in that game with a couple of extra base hits. The 0-1 curveball swung on, was a little bit ahead of it, and that's going to go out of play. Third baseman makes a play on it, but unable to get over there, and it's an 0-2 count.
Coach Jacobson really likes the hit and run action with Jack. He can handle the bat, he sees pitches well, and so you often see some motion with the runner, but it's not a straight still, it's a hit and run. And Jack does a good job of defending his teammates.
Jack now 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the third with Wasatch leading 4-1 in this Super Regional down at Cottonwood High School. Cottonwood got the number 5 seed in the RPI. Wasatch coming in as the number 13. After the reseed, it would be number 12. And he gets a fastball by Jack. Strike 3 on the fastball. Jack behind that one, and we got 2-away here in the top of the third. Again, Chet 1 for 1 on the day with a 2 RBI single. First base hit of the postseason. Does have a couple of runs scored in that first series. Zimmerman takes the lead over at first, a decent lead. First pitch of the bat is delivered and swung on and fouled off behind him. Moves count to 0-1.
Excited to see what happens here with Chet moving forward. You know, sometimes it just takes one good barrel to get the monkey off your back a little bit, and he's been slumping. I think from his own standard, he'd say he's been slumping over the last couple weeks, but that last base hit was a good swing up the middle. Let's see if that shakes him loose now.
Curved ball low and away, too far low and away for ball 1.
I feel like this venue, this park, the way it's built here, the wind blowing out, lefty, not a ton of velocity here. Chet could have himself a really big day down here at the park today.
The 1-1 is going to be a pickoff. Cole reads it easily. He's able to get back without diving back. Moves the count to 1-1, or keeps the count at 1-1. Pitcher comes set. Takes a peek at Cole. Takes another look. Takes a third look. Delivers the 1-1. High fastball that is going to be swung on and fouled off down the third base side.
That's twice this inning. He had a hit and run and not very good pitches to hit, unfortunately. It's a little bad luck there from Wasatch. Back-to-back hitters with Bluth and Wilson having to swing at pitches that are outside of the zone to defend their teammate, protect their teammate.
Cottonwood has shifted their outfield way over the opposite way. It's going to be another hit and run. This one is going to be caught by the left fielder. What a play by the left fielder of Cottonwood. That is senior Saran, and the senior coming up with a big catch. If he doesn't make that one, I think Cole scores from first base on the hit and run. Good swing there from Chet, but Cottonwood gets out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 is left on base. It's 4-1 still as we go into the bottom of the third.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Bottom of the third inning at Cottonwood High School, where Wasatch leads Cottonwood 4-1 in the state tournament. This action brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or visit gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop.
Leading off for the Cottonwood Colts will be senior second baseman Snow, and he's going to rip one up the middle. Carter Bucad bobbles it. The throw still in time. What a play by Bucad as he's able to keep his composure. Didn't look it all the way into the glove. Was able to keep his composure. Throws it across the diamond, and Wasatch has the first guy out.
Yeah, he almost panicked, though, didn't he? When you drop a ball like that, the rule is to pick it up with your bare hand so you can quickly get rid of it. He didn't. He went bobble, then the glove to scoop it up, and then had to transfer. But that ball was hit on the screws enough that he still had time to get the ball over there to first base.
He's going to bring up the leadoff batter, the third baseman, senior Burke, who reached on an error in his first at bat. This ball is going to be bounced in front of the plate for ball one. Girls lacrosse is also in action at home today. That game will be at 1 o'clock against Provo, who advanced by beating East 22-0. That game, again, is at Wright Tree Stadium at 1 o'clock. That is quarterfinal action. Fastball too far low and outside. Girls lacrosse team number 3 in the RPI standing, so one of the favorites in that state tournament.
Yeah, the Lady Wasps have a nice seed there, Tyler, but unfortunately they're on the side of the bracket with Goliath, if you will, with Park City is who they would have to face in the semifinals, and that'd be a big upset if they can get by Park City.
The 2-0 pitch is in there for strike one, and now he comes back with a curveball for strike two. 2-2 now the count with one out here in the bottom of the third. Nobody on base for Cottonwood. Leadoff batter, third baseman Burke up. The 2-2. Fastball elevated right at Bucad. Bucad to this backhand side. Plants, throws across the diamond. What a play by the sophomore Carter Bucad as he throws it to the deepest part of the infield across the diamond and makes the play.
Holy cow, that was a great play, Tyler. Again, losing his footing a little bit. But that one, I want to be careful how I say this. It wasn't a Derek Jeter jump throw, but it was the release point that Jeter has on those throws. When you're going to the backhand side, Jeter was so good at getting his arm slotted into the right pocket to drive the throw over to the first base. And that's exactly what Carter did there. Deep in the 5-6 hole planted, quickly got rid of it. And, man, that was a good play. And how about there again, Bolender? This is good scouting for this Wasatch team. They know Nielsen wants to get after those first pitches, and Bolender makes him look silly on that breaking pitch. Strike one.
2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Wasatch leads 4-1, and I've gotten the first 2 batters out. The 0-1 tries to go low and away again with the off speed. Nielsen doesn't chase, moves the count to 1-1. Nielsen, a Utah commit, 476 batting average. He walked in his first at bat, 32 RBIs. The 1-1, another ball low. Bolender's been careful around Nielsen, showing him some respect. That walk by Jackson Bolender is the first walk in his last 2 outings that he's had. Didn't have a walk against Spanish Fork and didn't have a walk against Tooele in his last 2 starts. Sorry, I just got an update that the girls lacrosse team is actually playing right now, and it's tied 4-4 at halftime. Another curveball that swung on and fouled this time. Moves the count 2 deuces with 2 outs.
Nielsen's not seeing that curveball well, Tyler. How I would categorize him right now is he's anticipating pitches and he's deciding beforehand if he's going after them. Both these swings on curveballs, he's expecting fastball. Their fastball counts, and he goes early, and he's not close on them.
The 2-2. Gets him to swing again at the curveball. This one goes into the dirt. Kelson Stocking throws it down to first, and Wasatch has retired 6 straight batters. 1, 2, 3 once again here in the bottom of the third. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. A physical at the pit stop strikeout to end the inning. Wasatch leads 4-1 as we go into the fourth.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Fourth inning action brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health. Founded in 1967, provides quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavioral Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center offering a wide array of programs and services for children, teens, and adults. I want to thank Sarah Robinson, Sarah Robinson,
for, right here.
for giving me that update, and would like to continue to get those updates.
She's thrown me off over the last
couple
that's my
years
fault. By changing the name.
Yeah, so 4-4 the score right now for the girls lacrosse team. They are again playing at Wright Tree Stadium in the state tournament. Boys lacrosse playing down at Timpview, and then the softball team will be playing at home against Cedar Valley High School. We're here at Cottonwood High School, 4-1. Wasatch leads in the top of the fourth. Curved ball, a little up in the zone, but called strike one.
Two really good defensive plays by Carter Bucad in the bottom of the third inning, helping keep Cottonwood at bay here after Wasatch jumped on them early.
Curved ball again, swung on by Bucad. He's ahead of it, and he'll foul that one off, and now moves down to 0-2. Was able to reach on an error and was a RBI error that he reached on in the top of the first inning. The 0-2 pitch here from Hudman. Swung on and fouled off again. Moves count to 0-2. Or keeps the count at 0-2.
He'd like to have that one back, Ty. He's kind of wincing. Same thing. That was a fastball over the middle part of the zone that was elevated. Carter missed it.
Wasatch starting 3 seniors today. 4 seniors with Kelsey Stockton behind the dish. Carter Bucad, the lone sophomore, and with an 0-2 count, Carter Bucad continues to stay hot in this postseason as he knocks a single through the 3-4 hole. 4 hits now for Carter Bucad in this postseason.
You know, Ty, the question was posed, how often does coaching make a difference in the state tournament like this? And I think this is a good example where you're seeing good coaching. Coach Jacobson put together a lineup that is just tailor-made, built to be successful against this pitcher, the ace here for Cottonwood. And this is not a slouch pitcher in Hudman. He's got a 2.7 ERA on the year. But Wasatch, just the structure of their lineup, as you can see with Carter Bucad there, they're meant to drive the ball the other way, and they're having a lot of success today with it. 4 base hits to right field now.
Tragun Shaw is going to square, but then pulls back on the curveball that's low and away for ball 1. Tragun, the number 9 hitter, singled up the middle in his first at bat. Crew Erickson on deck with a double and a sacrifice bunt in his 2 trips to the plate. Pickoff move. Bucad reads it easily. He'll go back to first base. Keeps the count 1-0. Nobody out. This is the 3rd inning of the 4 that Wasatch has been able to get the leadoff guy on. Weren't able to score Tragun in the 2nd inning when he led off the 2nd inning with a single up the middle. See if Wasatch can take advantage here. Tragun's going to go ahead and swing. That one's up and away. Moves count to 2-0. Takes a peek down at Coach Jacobson. Wasatch 3-run lead. See if they want to play some small ball here with top of the order coming up. Pickoff move. Tragun Shaw was going to square on that one.
And they've got him twice, so both pickoffs. A lot of times pitchers will go not to try to get the batter out, but to see if the hitter will show in this situation what the game plan is, and Tragun has done that both times. And rightfully so. He's trying to square early and see it down as we talk about, Ty.
Not able to see that one down as he drops the bat head. Tried to lunge out a little bit instead of catching it. Moves the count to 2-1 after the fouled off bunt.
Yeah, not a great pitch to bunt. Tyler, that one was down lower in the zone. Had to move the barrel quite a bit down. Maybe wouldn't have been a bad one to pull back on at 2-0.
2 on the count. Bucad takes a pretty good lead over at first base. Singled. Shaw squares early. Another pickoff move not in time. Coach Jacobson once again giving another sign. Tragun takes a deep breath and will get back into the box. Hitting on the left-hand side, facing the lefty Hudman on the mound. Bucad takes his lead at first base. Hudman, another pickoff move, not in time.
Again, Tragun showing bunt there, Ty. And we'll see kind of what happens here after several pickoff moves. The third baseman keeps creeping in ever closer here. And if Wasatch is maybe going to slash here, or if they'll just stick to the game plan.
Big 3-4 hole over between first and second baseman. Hudman, 2 looks, delivers. Another bunt attempt. It's pulled back, but it's a called strike, and it's a 2-2 count now with nobody out. Bucad, pretty good speed at first base. Tragun, good speed in the box. 2-2 count now. We'll see what Coach Jacobson decides to do with 2 strikes. Hudman sets. Delivers the 2-2. It's swung on. This is a roped ball to the left side. It gets by the left fielder. Carter Bucad will get to third base. And Tragun Shaw with a stand-up double. 2 for 2 for Tragun Shaw in the 9th spot as Wasatch has runners on second and third with nobody out here in the top of the 4th.
How about that, Tragun? He'll be the first to tell you those were 2 not very good bunt attempts where his 2 strikes came on. And how about redeeming himself there, though, by ripping one down the left field line. He's had a great day so far for the Wasps. Now they are really in business. Second and third, nobody out.
Started to get some Cottonwood students out here that were chirping at Tragun a little bit, and Tragun got to second base and gave him the shush sign when he got to second base. Second and third, nobody out for the top of the order.
Call that arrogance. When it's your team, you call it swagger.
That's right. That's right. Second and third, nobody out. Wasatch already leads by 3. Top of the order up. Crew Erickson with a double and a sacrifice bunt. Gets a curveball. He's going to swing at it. It's going to be a lazy fly ball to right field. Right fielder makes the catch. Bucad's going to try to score from third. Throw coming is not in time. Both runners will advance. So the sacrifice fly by Crew Erickson brings in the 5th run of the ball game for the Wasps.
Again, another good decision from coach to send him on third. Right fielder was playing straight up and had to move about 90 feet to go over and catch that ball. And as he got there, his momentum was carrying him towards the right field line. And as a right-handed player, he had to turn and square up, and that's a hard play to throw a guy out on. Coach Jacobson reading all of that as the play's happening and chooses to send Bucad on another short sack fly.
Cottonwood's going to go ahead and cut off the infield here. All infielders up on the grass with the runner on third. Only one out for Alex Gutierrez, who flew out to left field and grounded out to the first baseman in his second at bat. Came into today hitting .361, is now hitting .250 in the postseason. Takes strike 1. He swung at the first pitch in his previous 2 at-bats. 0-1 the count with Shaw at third. Curveball swung on. It's elevated to the outfield. Shaw coming back. That ball's down. It's going to be a single, RBI single for Gutierrez, who trips going around first base.
That probably is a good thing, Tyler, because I think he was going, and he was going to be hosed at second. Left fielder was backing up. Made a good, strong throw in there. And I think Alex maybe was Angels in the outfield stopping him from getting over there to second base where he would have been gunned down.
2 RBIs, back-to-back RBIs, a sac fly by Crew Erickson and an RBI single on a little bloop single over the shortstop's head. And Wasatch takes the 6-1 lead, and that's going to bring our first trip to the mound from the Cottonwood Colts, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas.
Let's see if Wasatch can break this thing open. Only 1 out still, 2 runs across in this inning, leading by 5. 3, 4, 5 coming up. Really the meat of your lineup. I feel like you could say that at any part of this lineup here, Tyler, as Wilson in the 7 hole has been really good for the Wasps. Tragun Shaw in the 9 hole, 2 for 2. Carter Bucad has a hit. So really it's the bottom of the lineup that's producing today as much as anything. But with 3, 4, 5 coming up, they're due. And see if they can keep this action going.
6 out of the 9 guys in the lineup have already gotten hits today for the Wasps. Jackson Bolender had a single to right field in his first at bat and then lined out to the center fielder on a good barrel. Center fielder, I think, a little bit woozy. Maybe had the wind knocked out of him on that dive on that last hit by Alex Gutierrez. Gutierrez now 1 for 3 after the RBI single that brought in the second run of the inning here in the 4th. Wasatch leads 6-1. First pitch to Bolender, and how about that, Tyler? He's going to rope one to right center field. Alex Gutierrez, it gets by the outfield. Alex Gutierrez is going to score from first base. Bubbles trying to leg this one out. And how about
Get
that?
The oxygen, he made it.
A triple for Jackson Bolender that scores Alex Gutierrez from first base. And Jackson Bolender.
He was debating between second and third whether he really wanted to hit anymore after running that far, Tyler. That was a lot on Jackson to go from home to third on that ball, but he's hustling it out the whole way, legging it out, and now he's going to come catch his breath with a courtesy runner.
I'm thinking that's your best arm rounding second base. Keep him at second base, but he wanted that triple. 2 for 3 now with an RBI for Jackson Bolender, helping himself out on the mound. And Wasatch now leads 7-1. It's going to bring up Peyton Swap with the runner on third base and 1 out. Thinks about swinging at the curveball, but it's too low. 1-0 now to count.
There's twice he's been really locked in on that first pitch curveball. And if Hudman leaves that thing over the middle part of the plate, I think Peyton's going to feast on that thing. So those outside fastballs he's struggling with.
7-1 the score. Another curveball. He does swing at this one, and it's going to go barely foul. Craig McPhee has to get out of the way. He's going to be running for Jackson Bolender. Update on the girls lacrosse team tie. 8-8 now the score with 8 minutes left.
That's a good one.
Tight one between Region 9 foes, Wasatch and Provo. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Runner on third base. The infield is cut off again here. 1-1. Another pitch, low and inside. Ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Bullpen catcher Casey Anderson looking good. Right next to us. That's our third guy on the air with us today. 2-1. Fastball. This one's going to be elevated to right field. Right fielder's going to have a chance here. We'll see if Coach Jacobson decides to send him. Cray's going to try to get in there. This throw is almost in time as Cray runs it over. Home. And that catcher he got plowed by Cray.
Tyler. Yeah, that was just bang bang. Catcher was doing what you teach catchers to do, coming up the line to catch the ball, and Cray got it there at the same time. It wasn't a malicious plow. It really was. They made contact with each other, and the catcher really took the brunt of that thing as his eye was on the ball coming in. And Cray knows all too well, Tyler, as a catcher. He's been there as well, so he knows all too well what that experience is like.
Coach is going to come out and argue the case. Sorry, I kind of got flubbered. I didn't know how to call that one. So I recap it. Peyton Swap elevated one to right field. The throw was coming up the line, and the catcher did a good job of coming straight up the line to try to get that throw, and Cray just didn't see it, and Cray runs into the catcher. It was about, 10 feet in front of the home plate, so it wasn't like he was right at the plate, and the umpire said there wasn't a clear path, so he went ahead and let it go ahead and play out. Now the first base umpire and the home plate umpire are having a little bit of a conversation. I think this one's going to stand. The scoreboard says 9-1. I have it 8-1.
It's 8-1.
Right?
Yeah, they've lost track of it because Wasatch has put some runs on fast and furious here, Tyler. But that's one of those plays that umpires, they know. They've reviewed that. They're familiar with the plays at the plate and how the system works. And so, yeah, that one's not going to be overturned. But a coach that's coming out to defend his guy as well who just got ran over. And so we'll reset, and the inning will continue. Now nobody on as Wasatch has cleared them, leading 8-1 over Cottonwood in the top of the 4th inning.
4 runs in the first, 4 runs now in the 4th as Wasatch kind of broke this thing open. 7-run lead. Nobody on base for Cole Zimmerman, who will go at a high fastball. Moves the count to 0-1. Started off with back-to-back hits, tie in the 8-9 spot. Carter Bucad with a single and then a double by Tragun Shaw in 8-9, a sac fly, another single by Alex Gutierrez, a triple from Jackson Bolender, and then a sac fly from Peyton Swap. Man, you like that. You like that when you have hits or sac flies, and that's all you have in the inning. That's a good inning for the Wasps here.
Yeah, and Wasatch 3 times is taking advantage of a little bit more of a soft arm in right field.
This one is swung on, and it's going to be a ground ball to the first baseman. Cottonwood finally gets out of it. The Wasatch scores 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors from Cottonwood, and nobody left on base. It's 8-1. Wasatch leads as we go into the bottom of the 4th.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Bag Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Bag Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP Heber City and live sports coverage with Tie and Tie.
Bottom of the 4th inning brought to you by Dorius Dental, who offers no surprises of dental treatment. With doctors Dorius and Proctor, let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Time for your Dorius Center scoreboard update, where Wasatch is putting it on Cottonwood right now. Wasatch, the 12 seed, taking on number 5 Cottonwood, and they're leading 8-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning, and have really just put it on Cottonwood in all kinds of different ways. 3 sac flies in the game, multiple extra base hits, a triple, a couple doubles to go along with it. They've out-hit Cottonwood 9-1 so far in this ball game.
First pitch is going to be swung on. It's a lazy ground ball down the first base side that goes barely foul. Do you have Cottonwood with a hit? I think the only base runner they have.
Excuse me, Tyler. I looked at the scoreboard there where, that one was an error. So no hits for Cottonwood. Just testing you, seeing if you were paying attention over there. Man, you got it.
You love as a pitcher to see one run in on no hits. Yeah. High fastball and in. The hitter is Dozy. Flew out to left center field on a good barrel in his first at bat. 322 batting average on the year. 1 for 3 now against Wasatch this season. The 1-1. Ooh, a nice curveball in there for strike 2. Throwing the curveball a little bit more today. Didn't really need to use it against Tooele with straight fastballs there. Mixing it up nicely today. 1-2 the count here to Dozy. The pitch. Swung on, elevated to right center field. I don't think Wasatch is going to get to this one. That's going to go off the wall, the 380 wall. He's rounding second. He's got a chance for 3, but he'll hand it off to a double. Leadoff double for the number 3 hitter from Cottonwood.
Let's blame that on you, Tyler. You had to bring up no hits, after I got it wrong, and that breaks up the no-hitter. Jackson Bolender might go down as the most one-hit games in the history of high school baseball over his 4-year career. He doesn't have a no-hitter, but he's got, I think, 6 one-hitters that he's thrown in his career. See if he can keep this one to 1.
Going to bring up the sophomore Stinson. Struck out in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 4 against Wasatch this year. Hitting over 400, though, on the season. He's going to swing at a fastball right on that one, but fouls it straight back. Moves the count to 0-1.
Yeah, this kid can play, and you got to be careful with him. 7 bombs on the year. And, again, they play in some deep fields here in this region, and so these are not cheap home runs. Only a sophomore.
Getting his work in the field, playing right field today for Cottonwood, and Wasatch has blasted baseballs to right field this game so far. Runner on second base, nobody out. Wasatch leads 8-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning of the Super Regional 3-game series. Game 2, and if necessary, Game 3 will be played tomorrow. 2 looks, the 0-1. Another fastball. This one's going to be elevated once again, this time to shallow center field. Peyton Swap comes in, makes the play. That's number 4 for Peyton. So he'll throw it in, and that's one away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, and they're kind of running him all over, Tyler. It seems when the ball is finding him, it's happening in back-to-back plays that go in different directions. That previous hitter goes deep to the right center gap, and that one comes shallow to left center. And so Peyton had just enough time to catch his breath and then hustle over to that ball.
He's going to bring up the left fielder, senior Saran. He grounded out of the first baseman his first at bat. He made a great play back in the 3rd inning on a diving catch that kept a run off the board for the Wasps. 2 looks. The first pitch is going to be swung on. That pitch wasn't really close to the zone, but he gets Saran chasing, and that's going to be strike 1. Looked like maybe the changeup on that last one.
Yeah, such a hard pitch for high school hitters to hit. And again, Bolender, that's probably his best pitch. He'll bring a high 80s fastball at you, throw a good sharp curveball, and then he'll come back with a breaking pitch that a changeup that he can actually move in or out, depending on how he turns his hand over. It's just such a weapon for him. Hitters really struggle against that changeup.
Gets a fastball called strike on the inside corner. Moves down to 0-2 here to Saran. The pitch swung on. That one's going to go off the umpire. Foul ball. And we'll reset at 0-2. It's going to bring Kelton Stocking out to the mound. Give the umpire a second. Again, just joining us, 8-1 the score. Wasatch leads after 4 runs in the 1st and the 4th. Gave up a run in the bottom half of the 1st on a error and a walk and then another error.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of good hitting at the plate for Wasatch. Everyone with a hit except for Bluth and Swap in the game so far in this one. Tragun Shaw with 2 hits, Jackson Bolender with 2 hits, and Chet Wilson with a big first inning, 2 out, 2 RBI single as well. So really Wasatch is doing it up and down the lineup.
Curveball just misses on the outside, moves the count to 1-2. Bubbles 2 looks, delivers the 1-2, another changeup and a good piece of hitting here. That one's going to be down. Runner does have to pause. So he will not score, but that's a good piece of hitting there from Saran, the senior having himself a day, a diving catch in the outfield, and a nice stick out the bat on the changeup. And Cottonwood has runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Yeah, really a check swing hit there, Tyler, is just defend the plate and give yourself a chance. Cottonwood not willing to go away too easily at this point. This is the heart of their lineup, though. If Wasatch can get through this inning here and get Fox out, you got the bottom of the lineup coming up in the 5th, and that'll put you in business there with a pretty solid lead.
Swing and a miss, strike one with the catcher Fox, also a sophomore. 3 sophomores in the lineup today for Cottonwood. Struck out looking in his first at bat. 424 though on the year. Strike one, Bubble sets, delivers the 0-1. Another fastball. It's going to be a hard ground ball to the shortstop. Bucad flips it to Bluth. Bluth to first. 6-4-3 double play, and Wasatch gets out of the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 is left on base. Carter Bucad having himself a day at shortstop. Another great defensive play.
You can't say enough about Carter Bucad at shortstop today, Tyler. Easily the Point S Tires defensive player of the game. That ball was a tough hop, and there haven't been many of them this year playing on that turf. Carter was able to read it, jump up, and body that thing right below his chin. Still have the presence of mind to make a good delivery at second, and then Bluth makes the quick turn to first. Outstanding play. I'm going to give it the UCCU spark of the day so far for the Wasps. Carter Bucad having himself a defensive standout.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
5th inning action brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Tom Stone and his team at Guild Mortgage will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. It will be painless and easy. Stop in for the refinancing options, a lot of products, and they'll educate you for what is the best option for you. Or he'll tell you to wait, Ty, and say, hey, why don't you come back in a couple of months when I feel like this will be a better option for you. So stop on in to Tom Stone and Guild Mortgage. Wasatch leads 8-1 after a big-time double play with runners on the corners with 1 out. Wasatch turns a 6-4-3 double play to get out of the bottom of the 4th when Cottonwood was threatening, and now they come up here in the top of the 5th. We got 6-7-8 up. Jack Bluth will lead off, Chet Wilson on deck, and Carter Bucad in the hole. Oh,
got him
Jack
again.
Squares for a drag bunt, pulls back, and he gets drilled in the leg. That's his 2nd time that he's been hit today. And that one's going to sting a little bit. As he squared the bunt, and it was on the inside, and it got him, and good. They're asking to see if he went on the drag bunt, and he was pulling back. That's a good call. Do you get the? But Wasatch once again has the leadoff guy on. That's a bean that gives you a dead leg is where that ball was. It's going to bring up Chet Wilson. Had a 2 RBI single in his first at bat, lined out to left field on a good barrel in his second at bat. He's going to square here with the runner on first. He lunges at it, doesn't go, or doesn't get the bunt down. That's going to be strike one. Tried to go down that first base side. Chet likes to go down the first base side with the bunts. We'll see if he decides to do the same thing here. 0-1 the count. Jack Bluth, good speed, but just got hit in the leg. Slash and run. Chet decides to pull back. The throw not in time as Jack Bluth goes in there for a stolen base. So 1-1 the count, and Jack Bluth's leg appears to be fine. He's in there with the stolen base. Jack scored in the first inning after getting hit by pitch. Now he's on the pond with an opportunity to score here again. Nobody out. Chet, 19 RBIs on the year, hitting over 300. 1-1 the count. Hudman takes a peek, a long look at Jack, and Chet's going to go ahead and call time and back out of the box, and we'll reset. 1-1, nobody out. Runner on second for the Wasps. Hudman comes set. Jack Bluth, a good lead at second base. And no look, it's going to be swung on a hard ground ball. Good play there from Dozy as that ball was smoked, and Dozy does a good job making the backhand play. Steps on the bag. The runner does advance to third, so Wasatch advances the runner to third with 1 out for Carter Bucad, who has reached on both of his plate appearances today, had a single in his last at bat.
Yeah, good initial read there from Bluth. Tyler at second base. The general rule is anything behind you, you want to advance on the ground, and Bluth made that read quickly, and it's good he did because the first baseman was in on the grass and would have had a chance to get Bluth out at third had Bluth not made an immediate read to break in that direction.
Curveball in the dirt for ball one. Cottonwood's going to cut off the infield here with one out and a runner on third base. Jack with good speed. Tragun Shaw on deck. The 1-0. Swung low. Sorry, not swung on low for ball two. Girls lacrosse goes into overtime. 5-minute overtime now for the girls lacrosse team who's looking to advance in the state tournament against Provo. 2-0 count here. Wasatch already up 8-1 with another runner on third base. The pitch. Swung on, elevated, foul down the right field side. Moves the count to 2-1. Bottom of the lineup's been good for the Wasp. Bucad with an RBI and a run scored. Tragun Shaw at the 9th spot, has 2 hits and a run scored. The 2-1. Fastball, and just a little bit off balance on that one. Moves the count to 2-2.
Got his hit with 2 strikes last time. Would love, if you're feeling greedy, if you're Wasatch, they're in a good spot, up 8-1 with Bolender on the mound, but you'd love to see him get 3 runs here and, again, try to keep it to a 5-inning game. If possible, that saves you pitches, which is so important in the high school state tournament.
The 2-2, and that'll do it. A seeing-eye single through the middle. The infield playing in. You just got to hit it hard up the middle, and that's what Bucad does. Another RBI for Bucad. That's 2 RBIs now in the game, and he is now 2 for 3 and has reached every single time.
And Ty, if I can revisit the pitch count for just a moment, why that's so critical is in high school they've got basically 3 levels. If you throw over 35 pitches in a day, you have to wait 1 day between pitching. If you throw over 60 pitches, you've got to wait 2 days. If you're over 85, you've got to wait full day rest, and then they won't let you go over 110 in high school as well. And so looking at Wasatch here where they played on Monday, another hit and run, Tyler. I think there as he had Bucad in motion and Shaw swung at a ball above his helmet, but I think that one was a hit and run. So foul ball. Be strike one on that. But to finish the thought here, and then Wasatch is going to have to turn around if they win the series and play again on Monday and Tuesday next week. And so if you look at your starter in Bolender, that's 4 days rest if he waits till Tuesday to throw. You could technically bring him back on Monday if you keep him under a certain amount of pitches. But again, you don't want to just throw out a bunch of random guys in here because you've got momentum going in this game, but also they limit who's allowed to and who's not allowed to pitch based on how many you threw the day before. And this actually matters in Arizona. We were talking on the way down, the 6A state champs was able to win by forfeit after they actually lost a game in the quarterfinals because of a pitch count rule violation. And the Arizona High School Association went back and said, this guy wasn't supposed to pitch, and he did, and they made the winning team forfeit. And so there's all kinds of rules that high school coaches have to think about that other levels of coaches in college and pro don't have to worry about.
Couple of pickoff moves here at the diamond. 0-1 the count to Tragun. Softball is scoreless after 2 innings, playing in Cedar Valley right now at home. Tragun's going to go ahead and drag bunt it. This is a nice drag bunt, but the third baseman was charging in, and so it's going to be an easy out over at first base, but a good bunt there from Tragun. As Coach Jacobson pulling some small ball out, he wants to get a guy on second base for Crew, who does have a double on the game today. That was a good bunt. If the third baseman wouldn't have been playing in, I don't think there's a chance there with Tragun's speed going down. But now you have a duck on the pond. Wasatch already with 1 run in the inning, and the top of the order up. Crew 1 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly RBI. He also scored in the first inning after leading off the game with the double down the third base side or first base side. First pitch of the at-bat here to Crew is a curveball that's laced down the left field line, but foul. Good barrel there from Crew that just goes foul, and we'll reset with 1 strike. Carter Bucad, good speed at second base. Trying to extend the lead here. 9-1 already. Wasatch with the score, or with the lead. Alex Gutierrez on deck. He had an RBI in his last at-bat. Pickoff move, not in time.
Yeah, that one was the second baseman flashing the hand. So that wasn't a called pickoff move, but the second baseman thought he saw a little daylight. Flashed the hand up to the pitcher, got his attention, but Bucad was on that and read it easily.
Bucad's got a huge lead at second base, is why they flashed the hand. I mean, really big lead. The 0-1. Another curveball, misses low and inside, moves count to 1-1. What's Hudman at pitch-wise?
Gets him at 78 here.
They do have bullpen action down there. Righty up warming up. 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Wasatch leading 9-1. Crew Erickson leadoff batter up with a runner on second. A little bit of communication between the pitcher and catcher. Hudman will step off the mound and we'll reset.
Again, Hudman came into this game with a 2.7 ERA. Wasatch in 4+ innings has put 9 runs on him.
I think all but 1 have been earned. 2 looks now to Bucad. Now pitches, deliver the 1-1. Another curveball. This one low and outside. Moves the count to 2-1.
Ty, you were mentioning at the break, though, this Cottonwood team is talented. They're going to be good for years to come. Again, sophomore on the mound. Most of these guys are actually underclassmen here for Cottonwood. When you look across their lineup, I believe this kid on the mound has committed to play the next level as well. Yeah, I think he's a D1 commit already himself, which is a little surprising considering the lack of velocity.
He got picked off. Carter Bucad got caught leaning, slipped, and Wasatch is out of the inning. But they do score 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on base. Wasatch leads 9-1 as we go into the bottom of the 5th.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how. Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Cottonwood High School, where Wasatch leads the Cottonwood Colts 9-1 in this super regional tournament in the 5A state tournament. Wasatch the 12 seed, Cottonwood the 5 seed in this round. 5th inning action brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. It will be painless and easy.
Strike 1 here. The leadoff batter will be another senior, the designated hitter Green. He had a nice barrel to center field in his last at bat that was caught by Peyton Swap. 342 coming into today. He'll swing and elevate this one to right field. Tragun Shaw starts back, comes up, and makes the play. Tragun Shaw with the first out. First catch he's had today. And Wasatch has one away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Bolender up to 51 pitches now.
That's what he had against Tooele in 5 innings. Number 8 batter is a sophomore center fielder. He also had a good barrel to left center field in his last at bat that was caught by Peyton Swap as well. 296 batting average and 20 RBIs on the year. 5 extra base hits. He'll take strike 1. Looks like Cottonwood's going to try to take a little bit more. They've been aggressive, taking strikes here, trying to get Bolender's pitch count up a little bit. He'll swing at the 0-1. It's going to be elevated to left center field. This time Crew Erickson's going to come over and get into the action. Another out for the Wasps. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Bolender through 2+ games now. 1+ games here in the state tournament. Just barely passed over the 100-pitch mark completely. He's thrown 104 pitches is all in 2 games nearly in the state tournament. He's been ultra efficient.
He's going to bring up the number 9 hitter. Second baseman, senior Snow. He had a nice barrel up the middle, but it was a good play from Carter Bucad, who threw him out at first base. He'll take strike 1 as well. So the 0-1 count with 2 outs. Swung on again, elevated to center field. And how about that? Tragun Shaw with an out in right. Left field, Crew Erickson with an out. And center fielder, Peyton Swap with an out. As Wasatch gets out of the inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 9-1 as we go in the top of the 6th.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Top of the 6th, Wasatch leads 9-1. Wasatch Bag Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business, has been serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for the past 7 years. Wasatch leads by 8 here in the 6th. We have the top of the order up. Crew Erickson, Alex Gutierrez, Jackson, Bolender. A new arm, Junior Burbank, is on the mound. Doesn't have a lot of appearances. And Ty, we were down here, 4 years ago now in the first game of the state tournament, and our starting pitcher had his arm get hurt, and Cottonwood jumped all over us, and Coach Green at the time decided to kind of mail this one in, didn't waste any of our varsity pitching. It looks like that might be the case with what Cottonwood's doing.
Yeah, ended up losing 20-1 in that game as Cottonwood just hammered the Wasps. See, Wasatch can return the favor here a little bit.
2-0 the count. Burbank into the windup, delivers the 2-0. That one's in there for a strike. Moves the count to 2-1. Throwing from the right-hand side.
He doesn't have an ERA on the year, Ty, so this may be his first varsity appearance.
2-1 the count. The pitch swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. Snow picks it up, throws it to first in time. And Wasatch has one away here in the top of the 6th. It's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez, 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI, and also scored a run. Had a single, shallow center field that scored Tragun Shaw from third base. On the year, 361 batting average in this postseason, now 3 for 9. Burbank into the windup again, delivers. This is a curved ball low and inside for ball 1. Girls lacrosse tie pulls off the victory in overtime, so they will advance on to the quarterfinals, the final 8 teams. And a tight one with Region 9 foe Provo. Girls softball team, last I checked, was 0-0 after 2 innings. And the boys soccer team playing down at Timpview today, or excuse me, boys lacrosse playing down at Timpview today in their second round action. After getting the victory over Highland Tie in that highly anticipated game, Wasatch dominated though, wasn't close. Final score ended up being in that one 14-3. 2-1 the count here to Alex Gutierrez. The pitch, that's in there for strike 2. Moves count to 2-2. Top of the order coming up for Cottonwood. The 2-2 swung on, and it's going to be a lazy ground ball to the first base, but takes a good hop in Alex's favor. Goes foul, and Alex will get to see another pitch. Looked to be an easy ground out, but then that ball hopped over the line, foul, and we'll reset at 2-2.
Wasatch will be playing again tomorrow against Cottonwood. If you're just joining us and unfamiliar, it's a 3-game series.
Nice swing, but it goes barely foul. It was a curveball that Alex got a barrel on, but goes just foul down the third base side. And we'll reset again at 2-2.
What do you think of this new playoff format that they've been doing in Utah for the last couple years
I
of
love it.
the series format?
Yeah, I love it. I'm interested how, if Wasatch can advance past this one, how next week goes. That's a lot of games and not a lot of days. Your pitching definitely gets tested next week, I feel like, more than any other week.
Yep, potentially. So after this is the last of the series. So you go 1 round play-in, then 2 rounds of 3-game series, and then next week you have 8 teams left if Wasatch wins here. And it becomes a 4-team double elimination bracket, and you could play potentially all 5 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then could even potentially play Saturday in state championship games as well.
And the state championship's a 3-game series again at the end of the week. The 2-2 after 3 straight foul balls from Gutierrez. Wind up, the pitch, fastball. This one's going to be grounded to the third baseman. Burke fields it, throws it across the diamond. 2 away. Here in the top of the 6th. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. Some clouds starting to float in as well. Going to bring up Jackson Bolender, who had his first triple of the year. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, and an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Peyton Swap on deck for the Wasps, also with an RBI today. The 0-0 thinks about it, leaves it low, moves the count to 1-0. 1-0 pitch here from Burbank. A little bit up in the zone. Fouled off. Moves count to 1-1. Take a trip around the state today. Spanish Fork will be hosting Maple Mountain. If I were to put you on the spot, Ty, Spanish or Maple?
Definitely Spanish in a sweep.
Lehigh, Springville.
That one's intriguing to me. Although it's at number 2 versus 19, Springville's got a couple guys that can really throw on the mound. Ooh, got Jackson in the head.
And he'll go down to first base. 1-1 that goes off his head, and Cray McPhee will come in to run for him after the hit by pitch.
Yeah, you know, Ty, back to that quick thought here. Looks like Jackson's okay. But that Springville one, they've got some really good pitching down there. They've really got 4 guys, 2 excellent starters, a third starter who's would be above average on most high school teams, and then a good reliever. And so although they're taking on Lehigh, who's a fully loaded team, they're 20-4 on the year. Springville's got a chance with their pitching to maybe sneak one there. I still would pick Lehigh, putting me on the spot, but I think Springville could make that interesting.
It's going to bring up Peyton Swap with 2 outs and a runner on first base. That runner will be Cray McPhee, who's running for the 3rd time today. Bolender now 2 for 3 and got a hit by pitch on that last one. 1-0 the count to Peyton. Peyton leaves a fastball up in the zone, but it's called strike. Moves count to 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good one to leave there. That one was above the belt there for Peyton.
Jordan and Uinta in the 3-17 matchup.
I think Jordan's going to win that one.
1-1 the count. The pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Moves count to 1-2. Olympus Brighton.
You know, that was intriguing because Brighton won the series, Tyler, 2-1 over Olympus during the regular season, but I still think Olympus is probably the team to beat there.
Saws one off here. Can the first baseman get it over to the pitcher in time? It's right on the money, and they call him out. Wasatch gets retired. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base. It's 9-1 as we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Jackson Bolender still on the mound for the Wasps.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring, and if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Sixth inning action, bottom of the sixth, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. David and Kristen Wade, your owners, invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas. Top of the order up for Cottonwood, Burke, Nielsen, and Dozie. Burke 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first inning and scored the only run for Cottonwood, grounded out of the shortstop in his last at bat. He'll take strike one. It's like Cottonwood continues to take.
It's not going to make a difference. That's only pitch 56 here for Bolender. And so, yeah, this is a strategy move, just maybe getting into the bullpen early, but I can't imagine Wasatch is going to do that. I think this will be Bolender's game in any way you push it here today. If you can get away with just using one, he'll be able to have full rest no matter what to come back on Monday or Tuesday next week.
The 0-2, way outside, moves the count to 1-2.
Still has 50-plus pitches to work with in this one over 2 innings as well.
2 hits in the game for Cottonwood, 1 walk. They've had 3 base runners.
If you can keep him below, though, Tyler, 85, you could be tempted to bring him back on Monday, which he could technically. I'm not sure they would. I think they may save him on full rest for Tuesday. And ideally, you would get Casey Anderson to get a win tomorrow and bring Jackson Kelson back on Monday. But
I think how you approach it is you're going to get 2 days, right? You're going to get 2 games next week from Jackson Bolender. So is it going to be a Monday, Thursday, Friday, or is it going to be Tuesday, Friday, Saturday is what you're looking at with that, right?
And again, though, the reason why it matters a little bit is obviously the earlier you win, the better off you're going to be. Bolender did knock off Spanish Fork, the number 1 team in the state, who is the most likely opponent next Monday for Wasatch.
The 2-2 is going to be swung on. That's going to be a base knock by the leadoff guy. It's second time he's reached base today. Scored his last time he reached. Third hit of the day on the single up the middle from the third baseman Burke. That'll bring up the shortstop Nielsen. Struck out in his second at bat. Walked in his first at bat. 476 on the year. 32 RBIs. 13 extra base hits.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of what ifs to the scenarios we're talking about, but how it works is the next 8. It's not a straight matchup. Again, what they'll do is they'll take the RPI seedings and reseed again. So Spanish Fork, the 1 seed, will have whoever the lowest seed is. So Wasatch with the overall 13 in the RPI ranking, unless a team like Brighton at 15 knocks off Olympus or potentially Springville knocks off Lehigh, you're probably looking at Wasatch facing off against Spanish Fork on Monday next week.
Called strike 1, called strike 2. Nelson disagrees. He thinks that one was outside, moves the count to 0-2. Very visibly disagreeing with that call. Nobody out, guy on first base.
Got him on the curveball
last time. 2 looks. The pitch swings, and it'll be fouled off down the third base side. We'll reset at 0-2. Good speed from Burke at first base.
Jackson was hoping that Nielsen would be looking for that curveball on that one as well. Tried to sneak the fastball by him. Noticeably lost a little velocity at this point in the game, though, Ty.
0-2 count. Wasatch leads 9-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch swung on, ground ball, and it gets through the 5-6 hole. Back-to-back singles for Cottonwood. Has runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Dozie. Had a nice double to the right center field gap in his last at bat. Had also a good barrel to the left center field gap, hitting from the left-hand side. Has runners on first and second. 8 runs to go here for Cottonwood. They've got plenty of work to do, but chipping away. Back-to-back singles here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch swung on and missed. Knifes off speed pitch there from Bolender.
At this point in the game, if you're Wasatch, you're gonna trade runs for outs. Only 6 outs are needed, leading by 8. This is not something to get too concerned about with these base runners at this point in the ball game. So the defense is going to stay straight up and try to take outs as they come to them.
The 0-1 swung on. This is going to be fouled off, and it'll go foul down the left field side. We'll move the count to no balls, 2 strikes. Double play depth by the Wasps. Cole playing in front of the base runner at first base. Chet playing even with the bag at third. The 0-2 goes with a curveball. Dozie does a good job of fouling that one off. We'll reset at 0-2. This is a dangerous lineup. They've had some pretty good swings on bats that have gone straight at Wasatch players today. That pitch right there, a good piece of hitting from Dozy to foul off the good off speed. 2 looks, the 0-2, another curveball. That one's going to be another base knock, this time through the 3-4 hole. Tragun Shaw coming up, bobbles the ball in the outfield, but Cottonwood's coach was holding up the right fielder, and now Tragun's going to go ahead and run the ball in. Bases loaded, single to start off this bottom of the 6th. Bring up the number 4 hitter, Stinson. Struck out in his first at bat and then flew out to center field in his last at bat. Cottonwood starting to get some good swings on Bolender here in the bottom of the 6th.
Gage Sheesh is getting loose in the bullpen for Wasatch.
Softball just took the lead 1-0 over Cedar Valley back home, playing in their super regional. Bases loaded, nobody out here for Cottonwood. Swung on and fouled off here from Stinson.
Stinson, your most dangerous hitter for Cottonwood. Again, 7 home runs on the season, hitting in the 4 hole.
15 extra base hits for the sophomore. He's 0 for 5 against Wasatch. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, a hard ground ball to the third base. Chet steps on the bag, throws it home, and they get the guy at third and the guy at home. Heads up play there from Chet Wilson.
What a great play by Chet Wilson. Oh my goodness, that is awesome.
Chet had a ball smoked right at him. Chet stepped on the bag and then threw it home to Kelton Stocking. Kelton Stocking tagged the runner going home. And that's about as bad as it gets if you're Cottonwood, have bases loaded and have a hard hit ground ball right at the third baseman. Good play there
man,
from Chet.
Yeah, if you're a coach, you're just sick, right? If you're a coach for Cottonwood on that ball, you're thinking, man, we're going to get a couple and put the pressure on Wasatch, and that's the one spot, really, you don't want that ball to be hit.
Going to bring up another lefty. He has a single on today. Saran, the left fielder, grounded out to the first baseman and then had a single to left field in his last at bat. The Wasatch defense has been good. After a couple of throwing errors in the first inning, they've played clean, including turning a couple of double plays in the ballgame. The 0-1 count here with 2 outs with runners on first and second for the Colts. Infield playing back for the Wasps. Off-speed pitch, it's going to be a roll over to Bluth. Bluth gobbles it up, throws it over to Zimmerman, and another scoreless inning, and Jackson Bolender is pumped up coming off the field. No runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Wasatch 9, Cottonwood 1 as we go into the 7th and final inning.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
5, 4, 3, 2.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Welcome back to the 7th inning, brought to you by Gucci Goo Barbecue. Stop on in to Gucci Goo Barbecue. Great portions, great taste, great selections over there in Midway, Utah. Leading off at the top of the 7th will be Cole Zimmerman, the first baseman. He'll swing and foul off the first pitch. He's 1 for 2 today with his sacrifice RBI. Had a single through the 3-4 hole as well back in the 3rd inning. 0-1 count. Burbank still on the mound. He'll check swing. Are they going to say he went? Yes, he did. 0-2 now the count. Jack Bluth on deck for the Wasps. Wasatch leads 9-1, 3 outs away from getting the opening game win here. Ooh, curveball low in the zone, called strike 3. That is only the second strikeout of the day for the Cottonwood pitching staff. And that one's, we'll chalk that one up to be questionable on the strike zone
Put it
side
in the
of it.
questionable category there, Ty. That was a pretty low breaking pitch as it was.
See if Jack can get things going. He's been hit twice, scored both times. Hit by pitch, strikeout, hit by pitch. And again, scored both times he reached base. He's going to swing a little bit behind that fastball. He'll foul it off into the tennis courts behind us on the left field side.
As good as Wasatch has looked in this one so far, and they need 3 more outs to secure it, start projecting towards tomorrow and a little more intrigue to tomorrow's game, Tyler, as tonight is graduation for Wasatch High School. And traditionally, Wasatch High School has always done an all-night party for their seniors, and that puts these seniors on the high school athletic teams that play the next day in a tight spot. The coaches usually say, hey, we've got a curfew at this time, but obviously it's up to the players to respond, so we'll see how Wasatch comes back tomorrow.
Jack will have a ground ball up the middle. He'll beat it out easily. Infield single there for Jack Bluth. High bouncing ground ball up the middle. Snow, the second baseman, unable to get it across the diamond in time. First hit of the day for Jack, and it comes with 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, bottom of the lineup continues to produce in the 6, 7, 8, 9 spot. Those guys have been really good today for the Wasps.
4 runs scored in the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2, 3, 4 RBIs as well down there as well.
6 hits in total from those spots, Ty. Bucad with 2, Shaw with 2, Wilson 1, Bluth with 1.
And Chet's going to smoke one down the right field side. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Easy double here from Chet Wilson. That'll move Jack Bluth to third base. Chet was on that one as he smoked that ball. That was probably 90s off the bat on that exit velocity, going back to the exit velocity conversation.
Well, his best swing in quite a while, Tyler. That one on time, totally squared it up. And he looks to be coming out of his slump. Couple hits now. So make it 7 hits for the Wasps in the 6 through 9 spot.
How about Chet? 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs in the game today after going 0 for 5 in the series against Tooele. He's woke his bat up today. Sorry, 2 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. They'll cut it off here with Carter Bucad up. Carter Bucad's had himself a day as well, 2 for 3, but he reached on an error in his other bat and had an RBI. He's got 2 RBIs today. Had a ground ball through the 3-4 and a ground ball up the middle for base knocks. 9-1 the score with runners on second and third, 1 out. The pitch, Bucad thinks about it. It's in there for strike 1. A little bit of an off-speed pitch there, moves the count to 1-1. Boys lacrosse tie just came up with the upset victory over Timpview High School, so they will play on Saturday in the quarterfinals along with the girls who won today. Spring sports continuing to perform well. The softball team currently leads Cedar Valley. Track and field is down at BYU right now.
Got a couple potential state champions with track and field, Ty, and we're omitting the fact that soccer is one of the favorites to win 5A.
2-1 pitch is going to be elevated into the outfield. This one's shallow outfield. That right fielder's going to try yet again to throw somebody out at the plate, and it's not going to be in time. Another RBI for Carter Bucad. Make it 3 RBIs for Carter Bucad in the 8th spot today on that sacrifice fly.
Yeah, that was interesting, the game within the game. Tragun Shaw, watching him on deck on that ball, he's just always locked in, Tyler. He sprinted behind home plate, realizing he wanted to help the base runner on third who would be tagging make a read. And he went over behind, and he was signaling slide, and Jack, for whatever reason, ignored it entirely and just stepped across home plate. But either way, Tragun doing a good job getting where he needs to be.
And just like that, another base knock for Tragun, as that's going to bring in Chet Wilson. 11-1. Tragun's going to try to advance to second base, and the catcher drops it. Another RBI single. And Tyler, let's just go through the stat line right now for Carter Bucad and Tragun Shaw in the 8-9 spots. Carter Bucad, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and Tragun Shaw is 3 for 3 now with a run scored and an RBI.
Yeah, that's not bad from the 8-9 spot there, isn't it? That's as good a production as you could have hoped for.
11-1, and they are going to go ahead and make a pitching change. We'll go ahead and take a break. Wasatch leads 11-1 here in the 7th inning.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strongest approval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how. Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
5, 4, 3, 2.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
New pitcher on the mound is Lowe for Cottonwood. First appearance on the mound for Lowe. Wasatch leads 11-1. You heard me right. Wasatch in game 1 of this series against Cottonwood looks to be on their way to a 1-0 series lead going into games 2 and, if necessary, games 3 tomorrow. 11-1. Top of the order, Crew Erickson up. He's going to take ball 2. Crew on the day, a double, a sac bunt, a sacrifice fly that brought in a run and grounded out to the second baseman. Also scored a run today. 26 runs scored for Crew on the year. Moved him back up to the leadoff spot, and he got things going right off the bat with a double down the right field line to start off the game. 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike, moves the count to 2-1. You know, a thing that's down here in Salt Lake County that you don't see so much in Utah County are these students that come to watch the baseball games will look up Instagrams and try to
they're good
some
hecklers.
trash talking heckles.
Yeah.
And this happened to Crew last year at Olympus, and Crew was only a sophomore, and those players out in left field or the students out in left field were brutal.
Well, they drove in a van with a speaker on top of it and megaphones yelling at him, and it was something.
3-1 pitch, and that's going to be a single up the middle once again for Crew. Brings in a run, and Wasatch now leads 12-1 on the RBI, 2-out RBI single from Crew Erickson.
Snow did a good job of keeping that ball in the infield, Tyler, but never had a chance. When you're diving on a ball that far in the hole up the middle with Crew Erickson's speed, there was no chance.
Second RBI of the game for Crew Erickson. He's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez. Anyway, I bring that up as Crew was going up to the plate. Similar things were happening as they were starting to heckle him, looking at his Instagram or whatever account they have now. Instagram's probably 4 years ago.
Yeah, you're outdated with that, Ty.
Ball 1 here to Alex Gutierrez. Alex Gutierrez 1 for 4 with an RBI single in his third at bat. Grounded out to the third baseman, the first baseman, and flew out to left field in his other 3 at bats. Crew, not a big lead over first, but he's going to take off and go. And Crew's in there for a stolen base there. Guy on second, 2 outs for Alex Gutierrez. Jackson Bolender on deck. Low sets. Delivers the 2-0. Swung on. This one's going to be elevated to shallow left field. And third baseman goes back and makes the play. Wasatch in the top of the 7th. Wasatch takes the 12-1 lead thanks to hits from Bucad. From Bluth, Wilson, Tragun Shaw, and Crew Erickson, all with base knocks in that inning as Wasatch leads 12-1 as we go into the bottom of the 7th.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist. At Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 7th inning at Cottonwood High School, Wasatch is leading 12-1. This 7th inning action brought to you by Gucci Goo Barbecue. Stopped by there just a couple days ago, Tyler, and had their Gucci Sunday. It is phenomenal. Day-old smoked meat that they spend about 12 to 18 hours, depending on the meat that you get, smoking there with some nice homemade macaroni and cheese with another mix of green onions, sour cream, barbecue sauce that they throw on it, and it is phenomenal. Gucci Goo Barbecue, a proud supporter of Wasatch High School Athletics.
Wasatch 3 outs away from taking a 1-0 series lead here against Cottonwood. The score 12-1. Wasatch leads by 11. Cottonwood's going to bring up batters 6, 7, 8, and 9. First batter will be a pinch hitter, I believe. 16 now up for Cottonwood.
Fox. Yeah, catcher Fox.
I had him down as number 6. You're right, 16. Strike one there, 1-1 now the count. Gage Sheesh on the mound for the Wasps. Jackson Bolender in 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk and 3 Ks. Curveball too far inside. He got Fox
the umpire
buckle
too, Ty.
Sheesh comes in 13 2/3 innings pitched, a 3.59 ERA, but did not give up a run in region play. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. 2-2 now the count. Cray McPhee into the game at catcher for the Wasps. Rest of the defense stays the same. Nice curveball, too far outside, moves the count to full. Gage has kind of become Wasatch's closer in games like this. Currently with a full count. Goes high, but too high, and that's a walk. Second walk of the day for the Cottonwood Colts, and that's going to bring up the number 7 hitter, who is the DH Green. Flew out to right field and flew out to center field. Gage did pitch against Cottonwood in their first outing earlier in the year. (12-1) the score. 13 hits for Wasatch in the day, 5 for Cottonwood. Gage takes a peek, takes another peek, delivers. This one swung on. Not sure if the coach agrees with that attack there. Got a long ways to go, swinging at a ball out of the zone. 0-1 the count. Leadoff walk here from Cottonwood. Gage comes set, takes a peek, takes a second, delivers the 0-1. Swung on, elevated to left field. Crew is playing way deep. That's going to be a single. They're taking away doubles, and that's going to drop in a single in front of the left fielder, Crew Erickson. So once again, just like last inning, back-to-back base runners. Cottonwood actually loaded the bases in the bottom of the 6th before Wasatch was able to turn a double play and ultimately got out of the inning without giving up a run.
Yeah, as good as this scoreboard looks, Tyler, Cottonwood's had their opportunities. A couple key double play moments for Wasatch have kept a significant number of runs off the board, probably 3 or 4 runs just from double play balls at the right time. And this Cottonwood team, they flashed ability. So although it'll be tempting, to look at the score and say Wasatch can easily run away with this tomorrow, I wouldn't venture that far yet. Cottonwood's shown you enough that if a ball bounces here or there, this is a much different game.
Double play ball here to second base. Jack to Bucad. Bucad to Zimmerman. Zimmerman can't handle it. Keeps it in front of them, Bo. The ball was low, and Cole wasn't able to scoop it up. But they do get the runner at second, so that'll move 1 out with runners on first and third. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, who is the second baseman, Senior Snow. Flew out to center field and grounded out to the shortstop in his 2 at-bats today. Wasatch 2 outs away, leading 12-1. Plenty of cushion here. Gage looking to close this one out. Runners on the corners. Wasatch playing double play depth up the middle. Corners in a little bit. Fastball too low for ball 1. Wasatch will probably have Jackson Kelson, or maybe you go Casey in game 2. You win that game with Casey, then come back with Jackson against Spanish Fork. Fastball in there for strike 1, moves the count to 1-1. Again, we'll be back on the air tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Game 2 of this series.
Yeah, I spoke with Coach Erickson about this actually, Ty, and I think their thought was get this one with Bubbles and then go with Anderson in game number 2.
Another ground ball up the middle. Bucad steps on the bag, and how about that? A 6-3 double play and another inning scoreless. As Cottonwood, like you said, Ty, had plenty of chances. We'll see how they're able to come back tomorrow. But Wasatch gets the victory, 12-1 to take game 1 of the series here in the Super Regional. We're going to go ahead and keep it here for our Ace Hardware Timberline Ace Hardware post-game show, as we need to get back for graduation, so we're going to make this post-game quick. But, Tyler, I just want to hear your thoughts. Last year, Wasatch comes down, the same situation, the same day against Olympus, struggles to put the bats together, ends up losing that game, the difference between this year and last year.
Well, Tyler, there's so much. The 3 double plays now in this game with runners on third base when they turn the double plays, key moments there in that one. So defensively, really solid. Pitchers throwing a lot of strikes. And then timely hitting, 2-out hitting, 2-strike hitting. Bottom of the lineup produces 7 base hits from hitters 6 through 9 in this ball game. I mean, that's great production. You're going to have a hard time beating a team if they get 7 base hits in the bottom half of their lineup. So all those things across the board to me, Ty, are standout things, but especially shout out the bottom of the lineup.
Real quick, Ty, so that's your Gordon Law Group game recap. Your keys, your Country Garden and Nursery keys for tomorrow, Ty. What does Wasatch need to do to come back tomorrow, not get too much hyped over a Game 1 victory, because you got to win 2?
Well, it's a new game. You get back to 0-0, and it will start on the mound with throwing strikes, and then you got to play defense behind whoever your starting pitcher is, Ty, and that's likely going to be Casey Anderson. And just keep putting up good quality at bats. You got the ace here of Cottonwood. You've seen the next pitchers that they're going to come out with you. And so just keep having discipline at bats. And this team, the Cinderella magic is certainly not done yet. They've got a chance to make a real run.
I'm going to take the Bank of Utah offensive players of the game, and I'm going to give it to the 8-9 spots. Ty, I thought Carter Bucad and Tragun Shaw at the bottom of the lineup. We talk a lot about momentum, and momentum in baseball is a real thing. And the 8-9, when you get hits out of your 8-9 guys, that can just shift the momentum. And I thought Carter Bucad and Tragun Shaw set the tone today. Both guys with 3 hits and a couple of RBIs in the game today.
Yeah, Ty, the Point S Tires defensive player of the game is going to be Carter Bucad. Yeah. He was awesome over there at shortstop and made most of the plays that went at him. And had a few moments that were close, but Bucad certainly was the defensive standout.
2 double plays in the game today as well.
Yeah. How about your UCCU spark of the game?
I like Crew Erickson right off the bat, right? Like this Cottonwood team has in their minds, we're going to come back and we're going to get these guys. And Crew Erickson right off the bat reminds them what he did the first time they faced off against Cottonwood, and that was a double right off the bat. I like Crew Erickson. And then the double plays, Ty, throughout the game I thought were sparks, especially Chet Wilson. Bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Then Chet gets a ground ball, steps on the bag, throws it home, and no run scored in that inning.
Yeah, that to me is the good spot A play of the game, is Chet Wilson's bases loaded, double play where he steps on third and throws it home. To me, that was a big moment. I know Wasatch was up by 8, 9-1, but Cottonwood was still trying to show a little bit of life, not just for this game, but for the series as well. And to me, that was the biggest moment of this one. So Wasatch gets the 12-1 win over Cottonwood, and we're back at it at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Ty.
Yeah, thanks for listening to 94.5 The Peak. Graduation today. It's been a good day. Lacrosse wins, boys lacrosse wins, baseball wins. Wasatch softball currently tied. So tune in to that one, or drop by to see how that one goes. We'll report on that one tomorrow. Graduation tonight. Thank you for listening. 94.5 The Peak.
You've been listening to High School Baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.